A2D Radio, real sports talk radio for the fans, by the fans, no agenda. These guys are the best in the business. Hashtag it. No notes.
Good evening, A2D family. It's another wonderful Friday night. Well, not so much out here, a little rainy here in Pennsylvania, but hope everyone is having a great night. Tonight, I am joined by some fine guests. We've got Ryan, we've got Tom for a little bit here. Ralph, Jake, and Frank are here to join us. I will let them introduce themselves in a minute here. But I appreciate everyone tuning in tonight. We're going to talk a little bit about the running back room. We're also going to take all your questions, comments, things like that. So really looking forward to that. You guys see the poll question down below. We're going to get to that as well. Tonight's show is brought to you by Specialized Physical Therapy, LLC. You can find them at specializedphysicaltherapy.com. They are located in Burlington, Princeton, and Cherry Hill. That are the locations that you can find them. You can also find our merchandise, all A2D merchandise, at phillydrinkers.com. Philly Drinkers, LLC. Check them out. All right, guys, it's going to be an interesting night. We're going to take all the questions and comments that you guys do have, but, we're going to focus a little bit on this offensive running back room, and we'll touch on some other things too. But, last week we wanted to get to this, but it got wild talking about the coaches. You guys had a lot to say, and it was great. We got some new faces this week, so we're going to get their thoughts on some things. We're going to start off with Ryan at the top here. Why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself?
What's up, everybody? I'm just going to keep it real short and sweet that this is your daily reminder, and it's the perfect time because we're talking running backs. J.K. Dobbins should be on this roster. I feel like if J.K. Dobbins was on this roster, it would be a nice, clean, easy show. We'd know exactly what we had going in the season, but because, once again, another reminder, we had to draft a backup quarterback at 53. We don't have J.K. Dobbins, thus this conversation. So I'll just leave it right there with that.
Thank you, Ryan. Yes, that was a big topic last week, something that is definitely burning a hole in some of our hearts. Definitely Ryan still. Crazy move. We're all still reeling from it. Now, Ralphie, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself? We'll get Tom whenever he jumps in here then. But Ralphie, the producer, and we're lucky enough to have him joining us here tonight.
My name is Ralph.
Are we?
I'm 24 years old from Brooklyn, New York. No, but you can catch me out on Wednesdays, every Wednesdays with the boys. So it's good times. Good times.
Thanks for joining us tonight, Ralphie.
Yep.
Tom, why don't you go ahead? Everybody knows who you are, but why don't you, just in case any new listeners are out there tonight, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself?
Well, I'll just piggyback off Ryan. If Howie Roseman had any running back picks throughout his tenure here, pretty much, okay, we wouldn't be having this conversation either. All right, and it wouldn't be a fat disagree, which is coming soon. All right, just hit any, right? The Pumphreys of the world, just hit any, just hit somebody. Just hit somebody. That's all you had to do. You had to hit one guy. I mean, Dobbins would have been phenomenal. We don't even know if that's a hit, but all you had to do was hit one guy through a tenure. One guy through a tenure, we're having a different conversation. That's all I got. That's all I got with him.
It's true. And, that was huge last week. And, it honestly, after we talked about it, I thought about it all week. I'm like, son of up. Well, that's why we're here tonight, because we're talking about the running backs. Because what the hell were you thinking, Howie Roseman? Now, Jake, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself to the people?
What's up, guys? I'm Jake Friel. I've been clean now for about 3.5 years. But you can check us out on Saturdays. We'll be interviewing Trey Thomas tomorrow. So that should be a lot of fun. But Ralphie. But I got to disagree with the poll. Miles Sanders goes down. We're in trouble.
No doubt. And we will definitely get to that. Frank, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself?
Hi, my name is Frank. I'm 27. I like long walks on the beach. And if you want to hang out with me, you can dial this number. You can dial 1-900.
I muted him. It's fine. I muted him. It's fine.
Wow. Well, you guys are in for a wild one tonight. We've got phone numbers. We've got emails to hand out. And you guys are in for a wild time.
To answer the poll, I disagree with the poll. We have seen moments where Boston Scott has stepped up. But, if Miles goes down, I'm not looking forward to Boston Scott and Elijah Holyfield and a past 2017 Corey Clement taking the reins. So, yeah, we'll be in big trouble if we don't have Miles.
No doubt. What's going on to Quentin? Mike, everybody that said what's up. Mike, yes, being an Eagles fan is an addiction. I definitely have to go check in every Sunday at the church basement. So we're giving shouts out to everybody here that I possibly could see coming past. Don, thanks for tuning in. Prism, great to see all you guys. Victoria, thank you, everybody, for tuning in. So these guys want to get right to the poll question. You guys saw it. And this is something, we've had Tom on and Ryan on. We've talked about this a lot. What happens? It's great, wonderful. Oh, Boston Scott. Yeah, we've got this competition. We talk about Elijah Holyfield, Corey Clement. We talk about, Adrian Killen. Some of these guys are going to compete. And Michael Warren, the undrafted free agent kid, I really think that could step it up. But what if something happens to Miles Sanders? That's fine and dandy that you got some guys that can come in and spell him. We're all expecting what we want, like 15 to 18 carries a game, maybe. Maybe that's too much because in this offense, you probably don't want to see that. He averaged about 11 last year, so maybe a couple more. So we'll see what we get there. You guys, I would love to hear your opinions on this. Jake and Frank, I'll get back to you guys. You guys brush up on it a little bit, but Ryan, why don't you start us off? What are your thoughts on the poll question? Are we going to be fine if something happens, God forbid, to Miles Sanders?
No, hell no. No, absolutely not. And listen, I like Boston Scott. I really do. And, I in the past compared him to it's not apples to apples here. It's kind of apples to oranges. So everyone, after I say this in 2 seconds, I guarantee you people are going to panic and they're going to take it as a shot to Boston Scott. It's really not. But remember way back when, it feels like it was 20 years ago, way back in 2017, where we were coming off the Super Bowl win and there was a lot of hype surrounding Corey Clement. That, oh my God, he's an undrafted free agent, but he could be so much more. We had a lot of people even saying that he could be a future running back one in the NFL. Maybe not necessarily for us, but in the league. What do we see right after that? A great season in 2017, and then the inability to get better and stay healthy. I'm not saying that's going to be the same timeline for Boston Scott, but you look at it, a guy who came out of nowhere, delivered in a big way late in the season like Corey Clement did in his own role in 2017. My only point of bringing Corey Clement up is just to say we've seen this story before, and we just can't say, knowing, hey, this guy was really good at parts of the season, we can't guarantee that he's going to be the same way again and again and again. I saw a comment before we even started. I want to give the guy a shout out because he was right. Michael Hunter, he was absolutely right. Boston Scott is a great compliment to Miles Sanders. He's a great compliment to your running back core. But say, for example, Miles Sanders goes down to where, I love Miles. I'm not going to say he's injury prone, but as we saw, he was banged up a lot in one season last year. He was banged up, every game. He missed a handful of moments in big games. So he's already shown the inability to stay fully healthy. So, yes, I am very concerned, A, with this running back situation, B, with the running back core, and that's with Miles Sanders at the top. If you eliminate that and Boston Scott is your technically, your default running back one, that's serious trouble. That's serious trouble.
Yep, I agree with you. You could talk about Corey Clement. That's 3 years ago. So exactly, it's like, oh, fine and dandy, but he still wasn't even that spectacular. Had like a little over 300 yards. He was averaging like a little over 4 yards per carry. So wasn't that great. And I'm not relying on him, not relying on Boston Scott. So Tom, I'd like to hear your thoughts on this. Are we going to be fine? I know we've talked about this, but what are your thoughts for anyone that has?
We're not fine now. Who's going to say we're fine now? Listen, I know we want to be nice and stuff. Boston Scott's not any good. Can we stop? If he's your third running back, fine. Conversation, good. I don't even think he's that. If you have a good running back room, we're going off 4 games, and now we're crowning. This is what we do here in the city of Philadelphia. Way too much, Bobby Hoyingers, okay? Is you crown off small sample sizes, right? We gotta stop doing that. He's a good little player. Okay, but he's not anything special. If he has to carry the load at all, we're in trouble. Miles got banged up last year in his first year. I love Miles, but every team has a complimentary back that wants to be good. There's somebody else in the room. There's nobody else in the room here. Okay, and I got there's no shots at undrafted guys just because they're undrafted. It doesn't mean you can't hit on an undrafted guy because it happens. Okay, but we really do fall in love with the underdog people way too much. Okay, if he's your third back, fourth back, situational back, okay, fine, right? I don't want him touching the football if I got a good back. If I got a good running back room, he's not even smelling the football. Not even smelling the football. But we overvalue. This is what we do here. We're the kings of overvalue, which every fan base does. But we fall in love with practice squad guys. He's not good enough to consistently get touches in this league if you want to get to where we want to get to. Are we sitting here just talking about wanting to be a 9-7 football team? Sure, give Boston Scott some touches if that's what you want to be. I'm not trying to do that. I enjoyed Broad Street. I want to get back as many times as I can get back. Boston Scott, in a significant role in your offense, you ain't going to Broad Street. All right? You ain't getting over the bridge. You understand? You ain't getting over the damn bridge. So we stop overvaluing guys and being nice about it. He's not good enough if we want to get to where we want to get to. And he's your second back. It's a disgrace. And it all points back to one guy who just hasn't been able to get it right, people, and just can never figure it out. Did last year with Miles, but before that, it's been a train wreck with the running backs. He was able to hit on free agents, what he does well, but again, this offseason, didn't even look. You know what I mean? Didn't even look. And let a guy like Jordan Howard walk out the door for peanuts. Didn't even look. Okay. We can say Devontae Freeman until we're blue in the face. It just doesn't matter. I don't want the guy from Washington. I mean, not from Washington, from the Niners. I don't want Mosher or whatever the hell his stupid name is. Okay, because he's not good enough. And when you're bitching a million, you've been around it. You've been on 100 teams, and now you're demanding trades. Who are you? Shut up. That's why you've been on 7 teams. Okay, there's the answer on why you've been on 7 teams. Because you're a crumb. I'm good there. Okay, find me a running back that if my guy goes down, I feel good. And nobody on this roster. Stop it with freaking Evander Holyfield's kid. Anybody else is not good enough if we're trying to go to Broad Street. If you want to be cute and you want to be 9-7, you want to be 10-6 consistently, sure, that's all well and good. That's cuteness. I'm not trying to do that. I like dynasties. That's fun. That's enjoyable. All right? The little division titles, that's all well and good. That's cute. You're not remembered for division titles. You're remembered for freaking trips down Broad. Don't give me a taste of it and not take me back. You understand? You don't give the people a taste. Put a little on the tongue, and then they're not going to ask for more.
I hear you, brother. I love the passion.
You put one under your tongue. You're not asking for more. Of course you are. You know what I mean? Of course you are. So here we are, just asking for more.
Now, some of the people were mentioning some names here, and I love it, Tom, because you had mentioned, how a lot of the fans, they put stock into people that have a few games. And it's like, look, when this guy was looking decent in the, training camp, the preseason, it was like, oh, maybe he should make it over someone like Sproles who will probably get hurt. They wait the entire season and then finally bring him in. We see 4 games out of him. He's in at week 10. Oh, great. Yeah, wonderful. Woo, woo. Look, this guy, they don't put any value into running back. Like you said, the year we won, we had a giant and blunt. We pounded the rock. It was beautiful. Like you said, you need 2 dominant backs. There is not another back in this room other than Miles Sanders that I feel comfortable with. So if you want to get down Broad Street, again, like Tom said, you got to figure out a way. Now, Tom, before I get to Ralphie, this was a comment while you were talking. What do you think someone said about trading for someone like Leonard Fournette? Is that someone you think, or do you really feel that Devontae Freeman is the best bet? Who is someone in your mind? You mentioned Mostert isn't a guy you like. I agree with that.
Leonard Fournette doesn't fit here. I mean, talent-wise, sure, but you want a guy who gets banged up all the time when he gets a little bit too many carries, right? I mean, you want a guy that you think that guy's going to come here in a backup role? Yeah, you're all crazy. There's no shot. We got to be realistic too. That guy wants to get paid again. He ain't trying to. I mean, you see the kind of money he throws around? I mean, just watch guys on their Instagram one time, people, and get a feel for how they live their life before we start saying, oh, yeah, this guy will be comfortable in a backup role. He wants to get paid. Are you kidding me? Are we kidding? So Leonard Fournette's off. How about we go draft a guy like a Leonard Fournette one time? You know what I mean? Like, that's fine. But you know what I mean? Actually put a big asset into another guy. All right, or like Devontae Freeman, but no, Leonard Fournette's a 0% chance of happening because I really believe he would want to be the guy, and I don't think that would sit well with him. I don't think he's a guy that would work well in a backup role.
I agree.
Yeah, and I don't think it would work either. But there were some other trade scenarios people were bringing up on getting both Fournette and Yannick Ngakoue. It's not going to happen.
Now we're playing.
As much as I would love it to happen, but this isn't Madden franchise mode with the salary cap turned off. We're going to be $50 million in the hole going to the next free agency. So with that, you got to restructure a bunch of contracts, and you don't know who's willing to restructure. So for that, as much as I would love to have Fournette and Ngakoue, it's a hard no for me, dog.
Yeah, that's a wild one. Now, Ralphie, you can touch up on any of that stuff. What are your thoughts? I mean, clearly this is a no-brainer.
Let's just say we're in
Is this your
big trouble. No, it's not. Hey, the fan club. I have my own Facebook page, Ralphie D Fan Club. It's a hit. It's a hit. So another fan. I love it. I love it, baby. I just love it. It is what it is. Don't be a hater, baby. Don't be a hater.
You're a great insight right now.
Don't be a hater,
or are
baby.
you going to just circle around here? Where are you going? You're going to get to the insight on how you feel?
Yeah. I just think if Miles goes down, we're fucked either way, right? Because Boston Scott ain't getting 20 carries a game. The hell is he doing? And Elijah Holyfield. Woo, what did he do at Georgia that was so special? Already, he was on probably like 15 practice squads already throughout his career so far. And Corey Clement, what did he do da? I mean, he hasn't been anything since 2017. So after those guys, nothing.
He wasn't that either.
But guys, he's from Glassboro.
But he's a local guy though, Tommy. You can't say nothing bad about him.
No. Be careful. Be careful. I have all Glassboro knocking on my door tonight.
Yeah.
All Glassboro's coming.
Don't say nothing bad about him.
First shot's taken.
I agree.
But after Miles, Jimmy, it's looking bad, man. It's looking bad because Boston's got a number 2 in the NFL. No shot. He's like a 3 or a 4. You know what I mean? The prototype Darren Sproles, as the Eagles organization made him out to be. I mean, he did carry us for some of the games down the stretch, but I mean, not for a whole 16-game season. No shot.
No, well, Boston Scott's Darren Sproles now, guys. So just be careful what you say.
Yeah, seriously.
The Hall of Fame.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, gonna be maybe a future Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
Type player. Yeah, that's him.
I see what you're saying, and Tom kind of alluded to that earlier. You know, if he's the third down back, okay, that's fine. But even then, you know, if you have a great stable of running backs, you shouldn't need someone like him. Let's all remember he did not make the team last year. Okay, like this is all because of injuries that the guy was on the team. So in a good offense, you should be able to run well. With a great offensive line that, you know, wasn't hurt like it is now, we're going to see what the hell, you know, these backs can do without Brandon Brooks. If Matt Pryor or Driscoll, whoever comes in, we got to figure this out. So we need backs that are good. So I like the name Freeman. I also agree that I don't think Fournette is really someone that's feasible. But Jake, why don't we get your thoughts? I know you touched up on it a little bit, but let's hear what you think about the running back.
Yeah, I think everyone here pretty much hit it on the head. After Miles Sanders goes down, it's pretty much done. I mean, Boston Scott, he's good as like a change of pace kind of back, but we don't really have a guy that can get it in between the tackles and stuff like that. I saw Pronger's best friend actually commented an interesting potential trade proposal by entertaining Kerryon Johnson from the Detroit Lions. But my only thing with that is I think the Lions want to kind of have that 1-2 punch with Kerryon Johnson and DeAndre Swift, who they just drafted.
They're going to want a first. They're going to want a first or second for him. They're going to want at least a second for Johnson.
Yep.
Yeah, and they're not in a position where they're not going to want to trade anything because that coach is fighting for his job right now.
Yeah, not even that, right? It's a team that couldn't hasn't found a running back since Barry Sanders. They've been dying for running backs. Mm-hmm. You think they got one that looks good in Kerryon Johnson?
And now they want to get rid of him.
That would be a Lions move.
I know.
It would be a Lions move. Yeah.
Well, how old is Kerryon? Like 23? So he's got 4 more years left.
About that, yeah.
He's got 4 more years until he retires. Because once you hit 27 in Detroit, you're gone. You know, you're retired. So I mean, he's got 4 more good years.
There's no evidence of that. Besides,
someone brought up, if someone brought up Elijah Holyfield, I know you guys were busting on him, and I also. It's like, come on, dude, are we really relying on Elijah Holyfield? The 1 year that he was good, he had 3 years in college. He had 1,000 yards at Georgia, but he actually was splitting carries with DeAndre Swift. Maybe just think of that when you mentioned him. So,
yeah.
I mean, he had a decent season, but dear God, if Miles Sanders goes down, we are in trouble. Frank, I know you touched up on it a little bit, but I'd like to hear your final thoughts on that poll question.
Yeah, everybody. Yeah, I basically agree with everybody. I mean, once Miles goes down, like you don't have that insurance policy. I mean, we're screwed. I can't say anything more about it. It's like once Booby goes down, we're screwed, and bye season possible.
See, this is what we're talking about, and like we talked, we just illustrated nobody's wrong. Out of the 6 of us, and majority of the people in the comments, they all agree the same thing. That is, if Miles goes down, we're screwed. Isn't it a friggin' travesty that we're sitting here in July, and we already have that stance? And I don't think any of us is incredibly confident that Sanders is going to stay healthy, especially with all the the rumors, the people saying, "Oh, he's the bell cow, he's the guy, he's going to be." No, we saw in 2017 when we had a variety of running backs that did different things how it worked, and that was with major injuries in the room. You know what I'm saying? That was without Darren Sproles. But we got to remember we have the better version of Darren Sproles now because he played a great 4.5 games. And again, no disrespect to Boston Scott, but Tom, you hit the nail on the head. This is what we do, I would say, as a fan base and especially as an organization, to where we overvalue the wrong people. Am I saying that Boston Scott doesn't deserve to be on this roster? No, I'm not saying that. Nobody's saying that. But the fact that he is immediately the default number 2 running back, and we passed on any option in the world to get a legitimate backup or compliment or whatever you want to say to call a guy going right next to Miles Sanders, the fact that he just looked the other way, and I saw somebody said, "Oh, guys, don't worry, Jalen Hurts will probably be the backup running back because he's the backup everything else except for linebacker." You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. I'd blame it on COVID if it wasn't that it's July, like he said. I would like to blame it on not knowing, the direction, the future in a way, right? I would like to blame it on that as the reason, but this is a trend of them not sort of caring about a position. Like you just talked about it. I mean, a guy who he was banged up his only year as a pro. I mean, so now we're like, no disrespect to Miles either. He's not Saquon. So I'm not like trying to take a shot at him. Here's like Boston Scott. Like, with all due respect, I am taking a shot. And no disrespect to the kid, he shouldn't be on this roster. He does essentially, if you're going to be an 11-5, 12-4 football team, he shouldn't be on this roster. He shouldn't be. Now, if he's your third, I can wrap my head around it, right? But nowhere as your second guy, because then you're just asking for trouble, guys. You're asking for trouble. You're playing with fire, and we know what happens when you play with fire. It's ask a couple guys who played with fireworks in their day.
JPP. Yeah, I mean, I saw someone said Wendell Smallwood.
Bring him back. He knows the playbook.
Let me hear you.
He knows the playbook.
I'm one of the people that I used to get eaten alive because I know that was Doug's boy, man, and he rode him forever, and I love that, man. I really do, because I was a Smallwood fan. When he went to the Redskins, I was like, oh, son of a. And you thought they would use him. They didn't really. They got Old Man River over there, and Chris Thompson they were using. Now he's gone. But, I wouldn't be against that. What are your guys' thoughts on bringing someone like Wendell Smallwood? Why don't we start with you this time, Frank?
Can I hold on, because we're going to miss this. We are going to miss this, and I cannot allow this to be missed. I'm sorry.
Allow it.
Charles, I love you. That's so off base. That's so off base, because now you're the one who's overvaluing your own guys. This is what you're doing, which you shouldn't be allowed to do. We're built here on no agenda, but you're allowing your agenda, right, to make a decision here and say you agree to it, because to you, Miles is a first ballot Hall of Famer. All right, and I love that he's your son, and I love that you think he's that great, and I want him to be that great. Okay, and I'm not saying he's not extremely talented. All right. But they agree, and then the list of names after the agree.
Well, I saw Lord Walker.
Holyfield and Warren. Scott Holyfield and Warren. Really? I can't. We cannot. Now we're really just because guys got an emblem on their helmet. Now, here we go. We got emblems on helmets. They're going to be good. They're going to be good. Look at them in shorts and a tee, guys. Look how good they are. They're explosive. Holyfield, okay? Who's Warren? Exactly, right? I mean, who's Warren? If this guy named Warren makes a team,
Michael Warren. Yeah,
exactly. I know exactly who it is. Not good enough.
He has a better chance than any of these other guys. If we're talking about, Lord Walker, I believe said it. He said he wanted to be positive about the competition. Look, we're not talking about the lack of competition. Sure, these guys are going to be competing, but it looks like these guys should be competing for third and fourth running back, not second running back. So that's kind of the topic here, where it's like, look, we understand. We love Miles Sanders, and like Tom said, we want him to be great. We expect great things from him. But what if something happens? Because as a team, we kind of have a history of that. And last year, Miles Sanders was banged up his rookie year. So if you're expecting more carries out of this guy, well, there's more of a likelihood that he does get banged up. So why don't you bring somebody else in? And look, I like that Michael Warren kid, but look, he's a rookie. He's not going to come in here and play anything. Maybe in a year or two, he could be decent. But like I said, maybe as a fourth running back, a guy that sits on the practice squad. We're not talking about anything other than that because he was good in college. Like, oh, yeah, he did great at Cincinnati. He had 19 rushing touchdowns, and I believe next year he had 14. So it was like he did good.
That's what in this league. I'll stop talking football. All right? That's simple. If Michael Warren's successful somewhere in this league for more than a year or two, I'll stop talking football.
That's what I'm saying. That's my point.
Yeah, exactly.
He should be a practice squad guy right now. We shouldn't be talking about him like, oh, yeah, he's going to be our backup power back. It's like, whoa. We're talking about a guy named Elijah Holyfield who couldn't even be the power back for the Panthers. Now he gets traded here for dirt, and he's supposed to come in here and just all of a sudden be good. I don't know all about that. And if that's our competition for power back, Michael Warren and Elijah Holyfield, that's scary. That's scary.
People fall in love with this, Jimmy. People fall in love with the gun show he pulls off.
I love what you said. The T-shirt, the shorts. That was beautiful because
people go 6 to midnight in their office, right? I mean, the little 6 to midnight, they can't walk around for 2 hours around the office space because they'll get real uncomfortable after they see that guy in shorts and a tee. That's what we're dealing with. I just want everybody to know what we're dealing with.
Nope. And you hit the nail on the head with it because you see it. It's ridiculous. It's like, look, we have not seen these guys on the field yet. And we tell you every damn video because people get carried away. And it's like, look, take everything we say with a grain of salt because we have no idea. You can watch as much college tape as you want, but you have to realize these guys, most of them that we have right now, aren't playing against top competition. So even if we would see them in the preseason, they're playing against the scrubs still. So it's ridiculous that we're in a position where if you would have drafted a guy like J.K. Dobbins, you'd be like, you know what? I feel pretty confident with that rookie coming in because he's been successful. So I don't know why we haven't already. We missed out on Hyde. Now it's like, okay, well, Freeman's sitting there. You saw someone mention McCoy. It's like, we got all these trades. Kind of do something, Howie, because we're sitting in a room where we're talking about guys that are literally practice squad players. Boston Scott was a practice squad player, and now all of a sudden he's the second running back, and he's going to come in if Miles Sanders gets hurt and lead the way. I'm with you, Tom. Shoot me right in the head right now because we're not going down Broadway, and I got a taste of it, and I need more. So fix it. So I'm with you guys on that. Now,
stink after Sanders. Stink. The whole line. Stink. It's like the quarterback room last year. We got so many guys. It's going to create competition. Well, not when they all stink. Not when they all stink, and they're not good enough to be at this level. They don't create shit. It's a bunch of shit flying around. And you know what attracts shit? What I got flying around in the garage. All right, bunch of flies.
Bunch of flies.
No doubt.
Love shit.
And not to bust on you or anything, Chucks. We're just saying that.
This has nothing to do with it. Look at the whole thread. It's nothing to do with Chuck's. I've seen Warren's name mentioned too many times. I've seen Scott's name mentioned 5 too many times. I've seen Holyfield's name mentioned about 1,000 too many times since last year. Okay, so it's like anybody we sign, because this is what happens when you're not good at a position for years, essentially, like where you have that guy for the future where we finally have a Miles. You crave it, right? You crave. So you're hoping that every guy you watch him, he's explosive. Play the UFC. Play the UFC. Calm down. You know what I mean? Or UCF, wherever the hell he played at, Killian's. UCF. Okay, whoop-de-do.
He better get some muscle for the next 2 years and work on things before I see anything. It's ridiculous that people are saying this. They're like, he'll come in and he'll be that weapon. It'll be Jalen Hurts. And I'm like, is this Madden or are we talking real life? Because in real life, if these are the guys leading the way, we're doomed. We're doomed because honestly, yes, they got great potential. Who cares? Every player in the NFL has potential. That's why they are in the NFL. I know it drives me nuts, and I get it. We're all in quarantine. We're losing our minds. We got shorts and t-shirts. That's what gets us pumped up. Hey, they're working out together. Holy, that's all fame now. No, I see it. I see it all over Twitter, Facebook. People taking their shirts off. They love it, man. It's like, look, until I see it, man, I'm not going to get excited, and it scares us. Tom, we get same feeling when we're talking about the left tackle. Ralphie, I'm not trying to piss you off here, but I'm saying get me some Peters just in case Andre Dillard isn't ready to go. Why not?
Can't run the football. That's going to be cute. Yeah, that's going to be a recipe for success. Can't run, can't block.
Yes.
So,
oh my God, I don't know. I get so worked up because honestly, what I did was after the draft, I did a breakdown of every position. And when I got to running backs, I was like, because names like J.K. Dobbins were still there. So, we had him in there. We had him. Tom's out. He's done. Well, Tom was only joining us for a half hour, 45 minutes.
Oh, here, Jimmy. I'm just walking away.
I didn't know if the Mccoy tipped you over, brother. I didn't know because I'm feeling it too.
The restaurant business is struggling in the city of Philadelphia, and we're going to bring this shitty tipper back. You know what I mean? The wait staffs are getting smoked in the city of Philadelphia. They're going to go back to work, and this crumb's walking the streets again. We can't have it. And he's not good enough anymore.
Ruining the Avengers movies. It's just uncalled for, LaShawn McCoy. We all remember what you've done.
He's an older, slower, more injury-prone version of Miles Sanders that also fumbles the ball way more. Like, honestly, like, no disrespect, but I mean, it's just the way it is. I mean, we say it all the time.
Disrespect. Disrespect, motherfuckers. A lot of disrespect. Say it right. A lot. He's not good enough to be here. The Super Bowl champions had to put him down. When they won a Super Bowl, they said, we got enough. And they don't have the greatest running back room of all time. And they said, we got enough guys here, right?
Yeah.
We actually value position a little bit. Yeah, we value it. We love you, Shade. Have a seat, right? So it shows you if he's on your roster or one of your top three guys, guess what? You're probably not good enough to win a Super Bowl then.
Mm-hmm. True. There's one name that I'm shocked. There's one name I'm shocked, you know, in the world of friggin' LaShawn McCoys and Wendell Smallwoods and the Elijah Holyfields. I'm shocked we didn't go to, you know, everybody's best friend, Josh Adams, the second coming. Remember when everyone was saying, oh, my God, Josh Adams, he's the guy.
He's from Central Fox. He's a local guy.
He went to Notre Dame. He's going to be the best.
Yeah, stop. He's a local guy. You got to relax.
He's
a local guy.
Yeah, you know who's a local guy, Ralphie?
Do it, man.
Ralphie.
You're a local guy too, Ralph.
Exactly. I was going to say,
you can't bust his balls. You'll get people mad.
People were coming from ahead. They're like, are you serious? Have you watched his tape? I'm like, oh, yeah, that's why he was undrafted. I mean, the guy was great. Like, what the? Like, yeah.
It's ridiculous.
He led our team when we had no one. People like, he was the leading rusher with 500 yards. Like, oh.
Exactly.
What's up, buddy?
Ralph,
What's up,
you know
buddy?
who else is local?
Who?
Me. You don't see me going out on the field. I'll get killed out there.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
I think I could let
Well, we're a little stronger back there than you, but I get the premise.
No, yeah.
I mean, we're right there. We're close by you. I mean,
It's not bad. I mean, it's not far off. It's
you
not
and Boston
far
aren't far off. I mean, let's be real.
No.
You know? And I like Boston, but I just don't. I mean, I feel like if he's fighting for your third, you're in a good spot, right?
Yes.
If he's fighting for your third, and if he wins it, he wins it. But as your second,
he's not a number two.
Like, Lord, I love what you're saying, and I agree with you to a point. But I could literally go through every NFL team and give you their second back, and you would probably take them. If I almost guarantee you would take them. Almost guarantee you would take them. And I'd be curious to know if there's, and we'll do it on a Wednesday night one time. We'll go through every team and their second back, and would you take Boston Scott over them? And only the agenda cats and the Kool-Aiders are going to be like, we'll take Scott there. And Lord, I'm not saying you. I'm just saying, you know, unless I'm missing guys, or not, or overvaluing it. I really, truly believe that. There's no way 31 NFL teams have better second backs than him.
Big Moose, can I get that framed? I'll take some of the talent
in the house today. I'm using you for an interview next week. We're just gonna get you to take the hat off, put you in a Panther. Like tonight, we're drawing Christian. All right, we got it.
Perfect.
We'll have some fantasy talk.
You're gonna have to work out like Hemsworth for the Hulk Hogan role.
You won't see me for a couple weeks.
I bumped about that, dude.
Anyone have some steroids anywhere that I can use?
Dude, he is jacked.
I know. I'm gonna need everything.
You'll be all right.
Yeah.
I see something going on over here in the comments. People talking about, Mostert, Coleman, all that good stuff. I honestly, Tom mentioned it and didn't really get to mention my thoughts on it too much. But Mostert, I'd like to hear your guys' thoughts on that because I feel as well. He's 28 years old, and that's not saying that, it's over, but you're getting up there. And there's a reason, like Tom said, he's been on 7 or 18, whatever the hell it is. And it's like, yeah, dude, you were in Mike Shanahan or Kyle Shanahan's offense, and that is literally it's very telling when you look at Devontae Freeman.
Go back and watch the Green Bay game, please, guys. Now I'll let you guys all talk. Just go back and watch the holes. I mean, you can fit tractor trailers.
Exactly. Ryan, we're starting you in those holes, and you're gonna have the same exact stats, man. Because
I'm getting 4.5 a carry in that Green Bay.
Exactly. No, straight up. And thank you, Tom. Exactly. It's ridiculous that people get this carried away. So, I mean, Jake, what are your thoughts on that? We'll start with you.
Real quick on Raheem. In 2015,
I know where you're going, Ralph. Continue.
But for Raheem to start the conversation, 2015, fun fact, he was on 4 different teams in 1 year.
Jesus.
Eagles, Dolphins, Ravens, and Browns. 2016, he was on 2 different teams, the Jets and the Bears. Then on San Fran from 2000. Actually, 3 teams in 2016: the Jets, the Bears, and the 49ers.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Sounds like Josh McCown.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. But at least Josh McCown's been on the team for 1 year. So 2
he has enough kids for all his jerseys.
At least he's a good guy, though. You know what I mean?
Right.
McCown's a man, dude.
Wasn't the man that trades as a backup.
I hope he comes into a coaching role here after he's done with high school and all that good stuff this year. I think he still wants to play, so if something happens, maybe he's waiting in the range. God forbid.
He'll probably get signed.
Factory.
I was going to say the Eagles will probably sign before they sign another running back.
Right. Right. That's so true. Right. Great competition for Jalen.
We're getting Clayson Thorson and Josh McCown is the competition.
We had Nate for 27 years, but we couldn't develop because we're such a factory. So we're going to let him go for Josh. I mean, this could just be a disgrace.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I'm scared to death. This was one of the ballsiest, dumbest moves I've ever seen in Eagles history. And this is coming from a guy that's 34 years old. So I've seen some pretty dumb shit in my life. So I get a little carried away. That draft night, we talked about it. I wanted to punch everyone in the face. I was like, this isn't real. I'm done. Done. Could have had Dobbins. Still, you guys bring PTSD to my soul. Isaiah Crowl. There's another name. There are some of these guys that
every name sounds good. That's played in the league.
How about it? Everybody thinks that, and that's one of the things that you got to watch out for. Now, Isaiah Crowl, there's a reason that he's not even on the Jets. I understand they got Le'Veon Bell, all that good stuff, but this guy, he's more of a bruising back, and we've talked about guys like Buck Allen and stuff, but now we're just talking about more guys that are competing for a 3rd and 4th spot. We don't want 3rd and 4th running backs. We want a number 2. So I honestly feel that in the end it comes down to Devontae. So Jake, why don't we get to you now and your thoughts on this?
Here we go, Jake. Real quick before Jake goes now.
Ralph, do you have anything?
It's a mess. But I can really see it happening, getting back to the quarterback thing, just them bringing back McCown. Be like, oh, Howie, why'd you bring back Josh McCown? You see, the thing is, he's been in our system before. He played a fantastic playoff game for us, and, he's a real leader on this team. So I think he can really help Jalen a lot. And, I think it's a good move. I like it. Howie.
Well, you got swap on the running back core. That's
That's well, that's hilarious when you hear people say that, though. Like, Jalen Hurts is going to be the running back. It's like, no.
Well, if you look past my draft from last year, I mean,
we
I
would have
got you
never
guys
been
Miles
in this
Sanders.
situation. We would never been in this situation if you just did the right thing at 53.
Mhm.
You know, but we gotta get cute because that's Philadelphia. You know, why do the
Imagine
smart
two great running backs back to back at 53 last year in the year. Come on, man, that would have been great.
I'll ask you guys this, and fam, chime in on this. And I know it's the point where we got to go like fantasy, like friggin' like dreamland, because A, Howie Roseman's still our GM, where we really have to get creative. And two, you look at it, you have friggin' Isaiah Crowell, you have Shady McCoy, Devontae Freeman is even still out there. Like the fact that we haven't heard anything is not good.
Yeah.
I
know with Crowell, I think he's on the Raiders now.
Is he still in the league?
I believe he's still in the league.
Oh wow.
Listen, the fact that he's on the Raiders, that's fun. Good for him.
Right.
If you could go into the friggin' mind of Howie Roseman, one trade or some scenario to bring in a running back on another team, and it's semi-realistic, who's the name out there? We already something other than Leonard Fournette, for example, somebody who you believe a team may not be in a position to win right now. You can go out and get somebody to bring in, because right now, unless they're just going to stay with what they have, which it appears the way it is, it looks like they're just going to stay with what they have. They really have to get creative.
Mm-hmm.
So is there a name out there on another roster that you guys would like, to say, Howie, please, for the love of God, go out and try and trade whatever you can to get this guy in Philadelphia this season?
Well, you see the fans here, Fournette, Freeman, all that stuff. But yeah, that's pretty much what, I'm asking you guys, what are your thoughts? And Jake, I wanted to start out with you. Just, what are your thoughts on a running back? Like, anybody, it doesn't have to be Fournette or anything like that. Like Ryan just alluded to, a hurting team, somebody that could possibly trade one away.
I've been preaching it for going on what feels like months and months now. And I don't want him. I don't want him anywhere near my franchise again, but to me, the writing's on the wall. It's LaShawn McCoy. LaShawn McCoy is going to be back here. I don't want to see it. It's going to hurt. And then you're going to have your casual Eagles fans be like, oh, my God, he's back. He's back. Look, he's back. Oh, my God.
Super Bowl.
The writing's on the wall, in my opinion. Just knowing how this franchise is over the past couple of years. They brought LaShawn back. Now they're going to bring LaShawn back. You
got a good point, man.
I don't want it, but to me, it's just I know Howie. I know how Howie works. It's just it's such a Howie move. It's painful.
This is what Howie Roseman has me doing. Looking at friggin' depth charts. Looking for somebody that's just hidden in there. That's what he has me doing. The fact that I'm doing this in July.
I hear you.
You could also I'm looking too. I mean, I'm looking at Denver, and they have 3 running backs.
Yeah, they're not giving any of those guys up.
With Lindsey, Freeman, and Melvin Gordon.
Yeah.
If it comes down to it, Royce Freeman might be the odd man out. If those two are carrying the load, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's just one of the guys that
I liked a couple years ago, and maybe with the new setting, maybe it would be something.
Maybe.
It's another name where it's like, we're talking about.
I'm just trying to look for teams. I'm just trying to look for a team that has, 2 good running backs in front of the third guy. And Roach Freeman is one of them.
Keep them coming, man. Keep them coming. And
Giovanni Bernard, anybody?
I was going to say, Bengals, but
maybe like 4 years ago. Yeah.
Yeah, he's like 50.
Yeah,
I really like that kid from the Vikings, but with Dalvin Cook's injury history, I highly doubt
Alexander Madison. Yeah,
I think Madison's
guess what? He's going to be the starter this year, Jimmy. Because Dalvin's holding out.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to pay him, Jimmy. I don't. I think they're going to go Madison.
Trade everything for him.
Oh my God, I know.
The kid's phenomenal.
Yeah.
I have a weird feeling Dalvin's going to end up
I don't think that's happening. Nobody freak out here.
Well, I wouldn't be shocked if Dalvin ended up on freaking Tampa. On Tampa Bay. That's the one hole.
Oh, that would be ridiculous. Brian, you had mentioned, you kind of asked the question, but are any other names that you had thought of? Any names you're seeing out there?
I'm searching. I see here, in the chat, somebody really say Doug Martin.
Doug Martin. I don't think he plays anymore.
I think he's out of the league. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
Marshawn
can't do
Because
that.
I don't like him. So no.
93 years old. Any names for you,
man.
Greg?
Yeah, I'm looking at the current free agents and just nothing.
What is Lamar Miller still out there? Or what?
Yeah.
The
Lamar
hell?
Miller's still out there. Devontae Freeman's still out there. Shady's out there. Marshawn Lynch is out there.
Yeah.
I mean, that'll be fun. It's not happening,
Yeah,
but that'll be
It's
fun.
not happening. Yeah.
You know who I
None
would
of
call?
these names are just like
Yeah,
wow.
LeGarrette Blount, we know, Ralphie.
No, I would call up Pittsburgh and be like, "Hey, Benny,
Oh,
Benny, because we want Benny Snow. Hey, Benny,
can't
Benny,
do this.
Hey, baby. Hey, we couldn't get him in the draft.
Song back.
I
Let's
can't
go.
do this anymore.
Call
I
him up,
can't do
Harry.
this
I'm seeing
anymore.
this is
Call him up,
definitely a
Harry.
conversation from before. I don't mind Benny Snell. I think he could
Me
definitely still
neither.
be something.
Me neither.
I think he could be something.
Yeah.
Okay,
me
then-
too.
Then Ralphie, I'll go to. I think he's on Detroit. So Don, I'm going right to you. How about Bo
Hey, let's
Scarborough?
go.
Scarborough.
Baby.
I liked him in the draft. Yeah,
I liked
for
him a
sure.
lot.
I did like him in the draft as well.
Bring him in.
Love
Cow.
We need
Scarborough and
We need somebody
Benny
because I mean
Snell.
we went through everybody and after Miles, Jimmy, it's bad, man.
It is?
Yeah.
It's bad. It's very
Don't let
bad.
anybody fool you. It is not good. And we're not sitting here saying that they're going to get hurt, but we're the Philadelphia Eagles, and we've been dealing with injuries left and right. So, yeah, we're going to talk about it as if something were to happen. Because guess what? It happens all the time. Even when there's no damn football going on in a quarantine, we lose our all-pro right guard. So, yeah, anything can happen, and it's looking like if something does, we're shit out of luck.
Can I tell you something, guys?
Tom
Don't
here,
listen
any
to
names?
me.
What's up, Tommy?
Just
What
listen
do you got?
to these. And there was a common theme. There's a common theme. And I'm sure you guys are going to know. You're going to understand exactly what I'm saying. Oh, we could have got that guy in the draft. We like that guy in the draft.
Yep.
Oh, we like that guy in the draft, right?
Yep.
And it's the whole damn problem. Can we just draft another guy too? Can we just find, can we just get deeper in a position in the draft? Like Detroit finally found their guy in Kerryon Johnson, and they had no problem taking Swift. I'm on an island here, like Chuck was earlier on this. I would have taken Swift over Jalen Reagor because there's a track record of success in college, right? Like more so of, and not a shot at Jalen. I think Jalen's going to be able to play in this. Like I like his confidence, right? Confidence means a lot to me as a young guy. That's what really is help sell him to me, right? But I'm just making a point in terms of production at the college level. That's a guy too. There's two guys in this draft that we liked, and there was probably more guys that you could have got. Right, and you could have got it even later because teams hit on running backs in the 4th or 5th round. They do it all the time, right? But we just don't address it, right? Like, how do you not draft one in this draft? How do you rely on undrafted free agents, and then we sit back and eat it up? Like, how do you do that? You can't get away with that at this level. Like, not even a 4th, 5th round pick on a running back. Like, I know you're going to draft a quarterback in the 2nd round and disrespect your quarterback who's been banged up, but you're not going to disrespect a 1-year running back who's already been banged up? Okay, time's yours.
Spot on.
Yeah.
Spot
No
on.
doubt. And I just saw there was a comment somewhere back here. Someone said, I loved it. Jamal Williams, that's an intriguing name. The Packers have Aaron Jones, who's a phenomenal running back, but they went ahead and drafted A.J. Dillon. I thought a little high for the draft pick, but a guy I was intrigued in, thought the Eagles could look into, but of course, that didn't happen. But that's a name, Jamal Williams. I really like that name. Is that a name that intrigues anybody in this panel here?
I want to get that real quick before you go there. What did that guy just say? We're not negative about winning the NFC East. I believe we're going to win the NFC East. I just want to confirm that. I don't think we're being negative.
Yeah, dude. Come on, man.
It's
We're
not.
just talking as if we would go down. What's it look like, man?
Yeah.
So not trying to be negative. I'm actually a pretty positive guy, but this is the topic of the show tonight. So we're going to talk as if something were to happen. And this is all we got, man. Football isn't back right now. I mean, supposedly July 28th, but we'll see. Wear your damn mask. So we'll find out. But no, man, I believe we'll win. If you guys caught the show where we talked about this, me and Tommy had us about 11 wins. If we, make some additions to the running back, maybe we get 12. But, we have confidence in this NFC East victory. Not saying that the Cowboys won't give a challenge. The Giants got better. Redskins always suck. But, we're going to see the Eagles probably get the NFC East, but we want more. Like Tom said earlier, we got a little taste. We want more. So That's what we're talking about, man. If you want to get down Broad Street, you got to be thinking bigger, man. You got to be thinking if something does happen, you got to be prepared on a team like the Philadelphia Eagles. Thanks for addressing that, Tom. I did not catch that.
I'm here.
To your question with Williams, Jimmy,
Yes.
I'll take them in 2 seconds. I struggle to think and find a reason why they would do it though. Like, why would they? Like, they got AJ Dillon because they're both, the two guys they already had. They're both going to be free agents, and they're not going to be able to keep both of them. It's going to be hard to keep one of them. So that's why they used an asset after using a bigger asset on Jordan Love. So they're kind of in the same category with the Eagles, kind of saying like, "What the hell are you doing?" Because you could have gotten a better running back with that, with that pick. Even though I think a lot of people thought they were going to go out and get a receiver, somebody other than obviously, Devontae Adams, for Aaron Rodgers. Mm-hmm. But I digress. My point is though, I'll take him in 2 seconds, but I just can't find a scenario where right now they would do that. You know what I mean? They're going to be. I think we would all agree they're the favorites in that division still, even though I don't love them. I think that division's wide open. They just went to the NFC title game last year and have the best quarterback by far in the division. So I don't know why they would be sellers at this point, especially with a really good running back in Jamal Williams.
Mm-hmm. Sure. Any thoughts on that, Ralph?
Jamal Williams. Yeah, I don't know why they would give up because right now they have the three-headed monster in quotation marks out there in Green Bay. But I don't think they're moving him. I think he stays put in Green Bay.
Yeah, and I think LaFleur is trying to really infiltrate that running scheme. So, I agree with you guys there. It's a nice name, an intriguing name, something you'd love to have on your Madden franchise, but, one that doesn't look too likely. Your thoughts on that, Frank?
Yeah, I just don't see them shipping Jamal Williams anywhere, to be honest. I think they're still going to put some emphasis on the running game. It sucks that the Packers didn't do much on the receiving end, but, not my team, so yeah, I just don't see us making a move for Williams one bit.
I've literally the last 10 minutes I've been looking at depth charts here. There is not one bona fide wow option like, oh, this is a difference maker. He's somebody that can come in. It would make sense because the team would trade. There's nothing there. Mm-hmm. Nothing. And it's crazy. Like, I don't want to keep yelling about the same thing over and over and over because at the end of the day, we can't control it because we're not friggin' Roseman or Jeffrey Lurie right now. Mm-hmm. But you're literally looking around, and Tom's right. One of the Wednesdays I did this on the phone with somebody the other day where I literally went down the list of all the running back cores and talked about who we'd rather have, ours or theirs. I'll give you a little preview. It's not good if you're an Eagles fan. Mm-hmm. It's not friggin' good.
No.
So you ignore it in the draft. You ignore it in free agency. You ignore it via trade when there was still a market out there. We're handcuffing ourselves when we didn't have to. And I don't want to hear like somebody was earlier. I forget who said it. They were like, "Oh, well, I like Miles, but a running back's not going to make or break the season." It absolutely will. It absolutely will. You look at 2018 to where we had no running game, to where, to your point with, from earlier with Josh Adams. Josh Adams was our leading rusher, and he sucked. He sucked. People are not going to tell me if we had a Miles Sanders or any legitimate running back, we wouldn't have been a way better situation to win. Way better. And I'm not saying a team with a great running back's a shoo-in to win the Super Bowl, but like we always talk about, when we talk about complementary pieces here, the running back position is the perfect complement to your quarterback. And in this offense, like we saw in 2017, when you have complement and complement to where you have complements that complement your complement, if that even makes sense, it's a revolving window of variety and opportunity to score points in different ways. Mm-hmm. And we just looked the other way and we said, nah, we don't want to do that.
And what really helped us a lot that season was our entire production on offense was probably one of the best offenses that the league has seen in a long time. Our stats before the Carson Wentz injury that year was on pace to not only come up close to the greatest show on turf, but be better than the greatest show on turf. So, and the running game had a huge contribution to that.
Mm-hmm.
Love it. And, 17, you guys keep alluding to, we keep talking about that. There was a plethora of backs to use. And, yeah, Sproles got hurt, but you had Ajayi, you had Blunt, you had Clement stepping up. And like we said, he didn't even really do that much, but he had that one game. So everybody, he's from Glassboro. Oh, he's the greatest that ever played, apparently. Yes, I think we definitely messed up and we dropped the ball not giving Howard a contract. Went to the Dolphins. The Dolphins! We lost out to the Dolphins. So, that pissed me off more than anything because I felt, we were missing the ball, not using him a certain amount at the beginning of the year. And then when he finally started to go, I was loving it. I thought him and Sanders were going to be a great 1-2 punch for the future. And then you did me wrong, Eagles. So I would love to hear your guys' thoughts on Jordan Howard. Do you think that we dropped the ball on that one? Jake, what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, absolutely. It was the perfect compliment to Miles Sanders. We saw it in the Bills game, and we saw it throughout the season. He was a perfect compliment. Good power to Miles Sanders' versatility, but also, in a way, it gave Boston Scott a little bit of his moment. But again, and the fact that you didn't replace him in the offseason or even the draft is just a disgrace for a measly $5 million a year. It's laughable. It's absolutely laughable.
Yeah, and like you said, we expected them. All right, so you let him walk. So we're addressing it in the draft. We're addressing it in the draft, right? And we didn't address it. And we got a quarterback because apparently we're building this factory that I haven't seen yet, but it's there. It's there. Frank, what are your thoughts on the Jordan Howard situation?
When we got Jordan Howard, I think it was a great move. It was a great complementary piece in our offense. I was quite surprised that we didn't re-sign him. To be honest, when he was healthy and available, he was effective in our run game. The fact that we didn't re-sign him, that was kind of those what were you thinking moments in the offseason. Everybody's going to talk about picking Jalen Hurts at 53, but not signing Jordan Howard, it has a bigger impact on where this team is going into this season.
For sure. And they kind of coincide because it's you didn't sign him, which is huge. So you should have. Whatever. We've been saying it all show. Ralphie, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, we dropped the ball in Jordan Howard. Big time. You saw it down on the goal line as well, where you just needed that little push, and you just brought Jordan Howard in, and he got it for you, right? Where the third down and ones, the third downs and twos. Jordan Howard did it all for us on their short yardage. But it's gonna be, dropping the ball on Jordan Howard's it really hurt. It's gonna hurt because now look what we have now at the running back position. And look what Jake said too. He didn't do anything in the draft, and he didn't do anything in free agency. So only time will tell. And right now, time is telling you, well, you dropped the ball.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you. Ryan, what are your thoughts on that?
I remember talking back in December and January, right after the season, and Ralphie and Frank, they can attest to this, and some of the people at home. I was scared to death about the situation of losing Jordan Howard. And I was saying back then, and maybe this question's for a different day. I don't know, but I was saying that if we lost Jordan Howard, I truly believe that there's a chance that that's going to be a bigger loss than losing Malcolm Jenkins. And people might say that's freaking crazy, but you look on the surface, given where they both were in their career, I think we can all agree Jordan Howard, from his career with the Bears to, his short career here, he's one of the most underutilized, maybe underrated running backs in this league. I'm not going to say he's a top 10. Hell, I'm not going to say he's a top 15. Maybe he might not be a top 20, but he's pretty damn good, man. In anything you're trying to do, when he was here, obviously for those short-lived, 6, 7, 8 games, whatever it was before he got, hurt, which the other thing I can't stand is when he got hurt, it was a freaking anomaly. It was crazy. It was the Eagles' curse, quote unquote, because he never had an extensive injury history beforehand. He didn't at all. It was underutilized. That's the only reason he was never on the field. So ever since he got hurt, now people wanted to say, right before we got rid of him and we didn't re-sign him, oh, he's injury prone. That's false. You go back and look. He's not injury prone at all. When he was on the field for us, when Doug and the offense decided to put him on the field, all he did was produce for this football team. Yep. It was night and day. And that's no disrespect to Miles. It's not. It's just this guy, he delivered for us.
We blew him when we got him. We were so excited. This whole fan base was running around like we got a legitimate running back in here. A legitimate
awesome deal, too. 6th-round pick.
We overvalue, and then when we don't bring a guy back, we take shots at him. Like, he's not good enough, this, that, and third. It's It's terrible.
ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
Place. It's all a mess. It's just all a mess. I mean, you gotta. I don't know why. In the one game, the defense was talking about, Jordan's power, and then you see Miles and he can catch you off guard. That thunder and lightning that they brought together really that's defense is off guard. And Jordan Howard, most yards after contact in his career. I mean, that's just like, come on, guys. This game of inches, so every inch matters. Why wouldn't you want a guy like that on your football team? So I can't wrap my head around it unless they feel like, the shoulder and the stinger were that bad that they couldn't bring him back.
Yep, I'm with you 100% because it's like, look, Jordan Howard, he came in here and I lost my mind. I was like, oh, yes, because I had dreams of a future where Miles Sanders and Jordan Howard would ride off into the sunset as that 1-2 punch we've been craving. I couldn't even believe that Ajayi and Blunt did it at that age. And, with Ajayi's history, it was like, oh, God, he's going to end up hurt. But they got it done, and it's like, okay, well, now you think you'd want that blueprint. Like, okay, let's draft for that. Let's get guys. It was like, okay, we have it. We drafted Miles Sanders. We've got Jordan Howard. Here we go. We knew that he was becoming a free agent, but we thought, give the guy a little contract. He'll be back, right? Nope. The Eagles apparently think, yeah, that's good, man. We'll address it. When do you address? We're not a running back factory. That's for damn sure. So, I can't stress it enough, and that's why I wanted to make this the topic tonight because, we could talk about linebacker. I saw somebody said that. We'll definitely take your guys' questions and stuff then, but, I wanted to first just get on this running back thing because it's hurting me deep inside. And like Ryan says, he still thinks about the pick. So do I. I still think about Carlos Hyde being missed out on in free agency. I still think about the fact that Devontae Freeman is sitting out there and, the guy still hasn't gotten a contract from anyone. So make him another offer and, make it work, whatever needs to happen because we need ourselves another running back. And I think that's consensus from all the guys here. We missed the ball with Jordan Howard. God, just thinking of that, the Dolphins, man.
I'll ask you guys
Ryan?
this, okay? I think we would all understand, let's say, and I think this is probably the path we're going on right now to where if the running back situation stays as is, to where nobody is eliminated or nobody is added, what we have right now is what we're going to have heading into training camp, preseason, regular season, et cetera, et cetera. Right now, if you had to give a way too early prediction, how many running backs are we carrying on the day-to-day roster, and who are they? Who's making the team?
Well, that's a scary thing because we talked about this in a breakdown where it was like, you want all these guys competing, but most of them should be on the practice squad, like we said earlier. Mm-hmm. So, that's kind of scary because then it's like if something were to happen to Miles, honestly, I would keep around. You want to keep around 4. You want to keep, but it's like, do you really want to waste a roster spot on one of these guys that you don't think that's good? Maybe you sit him on the practice squad, bring him up that week, just if you need a running back in case something were to happen to Miles. So maybe only keep a few, but I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts on that. Ryan, looks like you got something to say. So why don't you just give us an answer to that, man? What do you think?
Well, and I'll just say, preface it, I don't love it. So I'm not crowning the people that are 3 and 4. But if I had to go with fit, if I had to go with variety, I'll go with Miles. I'll go with Boston Scott. I'll go with Warren because he's more of that power back. And I'll go with this kid Killins because they clearly like him. I don't value. I'm sorry, Glassboro. I don't value the Corey Clement thing. I get it. He has familiarity with the roster and the scheme and the offense, but I think that's the only reason why they brought him in. A camp guy that can provide, competition who is reliable, a safe option if some of these, once again, undrafted free agents that shouldn't be competing for the job, if they don't pan out, then we can, settle on a Corey Clement. But I don't like it. I don't like it one bit.
I don't like settling.
I think
3. I don't think they get. I don't because this is how you gotta look at it, right? If there was 4 guys worthy of spots, sure, but there isn't. So I'm going to then have to keep a guy that's worthy of a spot in another position.
Yep.
Maybe more of a higher asset I use on a guy, which you know how that works. So that's the main reason. There'll be money reasons on why they don't keep 4 of them. Mm-hmm. It's definitely all going to be dollars and cents reasons and talent reasons probably. But I'm going to throw you a curveball here. I'm going to go obviously Miles, Scott right now, and I'm going to go Killians because I think they're looking for speed. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think they're looking for power back, right? I don't get the vibe from them. They almost want to go Kansas City direction, right?
Mhm.
They're almost copycatting what Kansas City wanted to do, which is I just want to kill you with speed everywhere, right? I want to make it just a nightmare when anybody touches the football for me, right? Well, I know I'm taking shots at the kid earlier, but again, if you watch college, all these guys make plays. Kid's a burner. So, okay, we'll see what he has, but I'm just going to take a shot because there's nothing else. Like Rye said, Corey familiar, cool. I don't, I think they're looking in a different direction, right? Isn't that the vibe you're getting? Look at their picks. Their picks are all speed. Everything's to kill you in that direction. So I almost feel like they're going away from the power back, right? In a little bit of ways. Like Miles will run you over if he has to. So he's not like Miles is this like guy who can't run through the tackle, run through center and guard here. You know what I mean? I absolutely can. But now after that, I think they're looking to kill you with speed. Scott, more not really, I'm going to say burner, but it's more elusive, right? And then to me, that's why I like Killins because I think what I said, Killians first. I don't know what the hell I said. It doesn't even matter. We all knew what I meant. But Warren, I don't know. I don't think they're looking for that type of guy. Holyfield is a practice squad guy, and that's why I'll go with a little bit of difference and go with that sort of mindset on what I think they're trying to do. Right? That's all it is. I'm just going with what I think they're trying to do. But I could see Gavin's 3 easily. I could see it, but I think Killins makes his football team somehow because he brings that home run threat, right? That's what they're looking for, home run threats. Yep. So if he's good enough and smart enough up here, and they think he is, then maybe he's a guy who can sneak on as that third guy.
I'm with you on that, and that's my same thought process when it was coming to running backs. A guy like Killins, like you just said, we're looking for speed. Everybody wants to say, oh, you need to have a power back. No, you don't. The Chiefs just showed you that. And, we are trying to be like them. We are adding speed. So I agree with you. We know that we won the Super Bowl back in 2017, but this is a whole different team. We are changing things up. I know Scangarello was in here, so maybe we'll be looking at things, but predominantly a zone running team where you don't necessarily need a power back. But we're talking about things that we haven't seen. So, yeah, Michael Warren might have a great camp. Adrian Killins might have a great camp. We don't know. So whoever just posted that I like that, just like Tom said, it could go either way. We don't really know. We're all taking all the things that we say right now with a grain of salt because we have no damn idea. But it still doesn't make me feel comfortable that we're talking about these are the guys that if something happens to Miles Sanders, we're screwed. So, Jake, take it away, man.
Jake, real quick before you go ahead and get to these 3 things because one's Wilson. Eileen, probably not until everything else is ready to go, honestly, because this works for us. So it's not like we can't get through it this way. Bri, I actually have baseball tomorrow. Why I couldn't go, you knew this, so I don't know why you would come in with a goddamn agenda. And second off, maybe you missed it. There is something floating around. All right, so enjoy your cabin time, honey. Okay. Hope you come back safe. And to this, no, not hopefully soon, because now you need 14 days from PA to come back to Jersey in my book, in my head, because I put my own stipulations on my own quarantines when it comes to my freaking ranch, babe. All right? My ranch is a different ranch than yours. Love you. Hope you have a good time. I'm sure you'll swing it terribly tomorrow.
Love it.
Sorry, Jake, go ahead.
No, you're good. Honestly, it's going to, how I see it, it's going to be Sanders, Scott, Killings, and I think Warren, just because of that power. Yeah, in my opinion, at least with me, I think you still need it, just on those short yardage kind of plays. And Killings for me, like we talked about earlier, they're going to kind of take similar to that Kansas City offense where it's just speed. You need that home run guy.
Yeah, for sure, and I think he fits the bill for sure. So, Frank, you look like you got something on your mind.
I agree with Tom and Jake. It's going to be Sanders, Scott, Killins, and Warren.
I like those.
It's basically speed. Speed kills. Mm-hmm. So,
I would like it more if no one got hurt. So, but it still scares me. Assuming
nobody gets hurt, it's going to be those 4. Doug has made a little bit of adjustments to the playbook to emphasize on speed. We saw what he did in the draft. So with that, I think it's going to be Sanders, Scott, Killins, and Warren.
Damn.
It.
I mean, if Warren's good enough and better than other talent you have, I'm for it. Hopefully that's the case, right? Because then you did hit on an undrafted guy. But then shit. I mean, then we're undrafted city. I mean, we're already undrafted city with mine. I mean, mine's undrafted. Right? Mine's undrafted. Mine's Miles and undrafted. You know, then if we go 4, it's undrafted city. I mean, really? I mean, what are we reinventing the damn wheel here in Philadelphia? And it's not at us. It's not a shot at us. It's a shot at what we've drafted or not drafted. Essentially, it's what we haven't drafted. So it's undrafted city. You got Scott, you got Killins, you got Warren. That's all undrafted. Even if you had Clement in there, it's undrafted.
Scott was actually a 6th rounder.
But
he spent time on the practice squad.
That's undrafted. I mean, come on.
The practice squad.
Once you go to the practice squad, someone's like, you're undrafted to me.
Yeah,
Sorry.
pretty much. I'm just
thanks for the correction, because I just assumed he was undrafted. When you sit on the practice squad, that just means you're missing your 6th round pick anyway. I mean, it's amazing. It's amazing. You put him on your practice squad. It's amazing. It's amazing.
If they didn't put a camera on him at home, he was undrafted. You know what I'm saying? On draft day, day 3. If we didn't see him on camera, if he didn't go to the podium, he was undrafted. No disrespect.
We saw everybody on camera this last time.
Yeah. So,
I mean, we're all home. We didn't miss one camera shot. So,
but I mean, Tom, you're as crazy as this may sound. That hit me like a ton of bricks. I didn't even realize that. I've been looking at this running back core for friggin' 5 months. It's literally Miles Sanders and all undrafteds. Well, okay, Scott technically 6th rounder, but he's an undrafted. You understand my point? Like this,
we're reinventing it. We're not
running back factory.
No, it's an undrafted factory. It's an undrafted factory.
New T-shirts. I'll talk to Alex.
Yeah,
new T-shirts.
Running back factory. Man.
We'll have a factory burning down and call it the running back factory.
And I saw someone mention, you know, we're not hating, man. We haven't seen anything yet. This is literally just bringing some truth, man. Being honest, because if you look at things, man, you can love Boston Scott in his 4 games. Hall of Fame. Yep, and right here, you know, Pronger's best friend says it. You know, we've been harping on this for weeks. You know, bring in Devontae Freeman. You know, just in case anything would happen, anything like that, man. Like, it just seems like a no-brainer to me. So I don't know why we're not. Jake, got a close-up on you, man.
Is that a tumbler, Jake? Is that a tumbler?
It is a tumbler.
Show that off. Ooh.
BillyDrinkers.com. Go and get it.
Plug talk. Sorry, Jim. I just seen that flash. I didn't even know you had one.
He showed it off actually at the beginning. We gave Philly Drinkers. We'll give it another little plug here at the halftime point. Check it out, guys. PhillyDrinkers.com. Philly Drinkers LLC. They do all of our merchandise here. You can also check out Specialized Physical Therapy. SpecializedPhysicalTherapy.com at Burlington, Cherry Hill, and Princeton locations. Dr. Paul Vidal, he's our doc. Make him yours.
Yep.
You still here?
Yeah, I'm right here.
All right, I'm just checking on you.
What? What's the matter?
No, I'm just making sure you're all right. I haven't heard from you in a minute.
Oh,
Ralph, what are your thoughts, man?
Right.
How you feeling about the running back room, brother?
Well, the running back room stinks.
How many we keeping?
I'm going with 3. What we've always done is 3.
Okay.
And I agree. I agree with Gavin. I think the 3 is going to be Miles, Scott, and Clement. As much as I hate to say that, but I think you just brought. If there is no training camp, right, and there's no mini camp and stuff like that, you have a guy in your room that already knows the playbook and knows the schemes and stuff like that. He doesn't have to learn anything else, and that's Corey Clement. And you just run with those 3.
How are yard sales, Ralph? I love when you said we're gonna do what we always do and carry 3. I love that comment because that's what's gonna happen here. It's a 3. We keep 3 undrafted, and Bart Scott, Boston Scott, whoever you want to call him, that's undrafted to me. So when you get there and then you're 3 undrafted running backs, literally, I'm not watching. Okay, I'll watch, but you understand.
Whoever did them rankings, those rankings that you sent to me the other day, how were the Eagles?
Yeah,
I'm being honest. How we're not 32? It blows my mind.
What number were we?
Saying, because like you guys were saying, it's Miles Sanders and then all undrafted guys behind them.
Yeah, what number are we?
And we're I think it was like 25 in the league.
Generous.
That's crazy to me, dude.
Yeah.
Just with the running back room in general. I'm being honest. The Eagles should be dead last, and I'm trying to not be negative. I'm trying to be realistic. It's that bad, dude.
Love the rest of this roster. Hold on, real quick. Love the rest of this roster. This roster is a playoff team. It's
what you did at 53, which screws everything, Tommy.
We can't stress enough. We sat here and said, "Oh, Dobbins time. A little thunder talk." We sat here on these airways. We drafted better than Howie Roseman. I mean, honestly. A simulator. I said it. I think I said it a couple Wednesdays ago that we could have simulated. Yeah, right. You could have a simulated draft and it would have came out better than what he did. Simulate.
It's bad.
Simulate. Just take the best guy.
I felt like I was having a nightmare, dude. I really was like, this isn't real. That we didn't draft Jalen Hurts. This is not happening. And there were so many names I was excited for. I thought this draft was one of the best drafts that I have ever studied. I was so excited about so many names, so many guys that I thought, and then they were available at so many different opportunities.
There was still first-round talent on the board.
Christian Fulton. We're talking Jeremy Chin. We're talking Christian Berry. We're talking Dobbins.
Yeah.
It was everybody, man. And I wanted to, and I was live, and I wanted to
Howie tries to get cute. Howie tries to be the smartest guy in the room, and it backfires on him.
It sure does. I don't know what he's thinking.
It's been his MO ever since he became GM again.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Slick Rick.
Jimmy,
he really does.
Jimmy, this is up to you, obviously, but I have the list up here for the hell of it. You want to go?
Let me hear this list.
So, for the fam at home, and then we'll do it one by one.
Yes, we can just say yes. Consensus.
If you'd rather have the Eagles or the thing I'm about to mention, and I'll keep the obvious ones out. So, like, what would you rather have, the Eagles running back situation or the Redskins with Peterson and Geis?
Right now,
the Eagles.
Eagles.
Yeah, I would say the Eagles. I would say the Eagles.
Anyone? Tom, you agree?
Eagles, yeah.
Okay. Obviously, we'd rather have the Ravens situation with Ingram and Dobbins.
Absolutely.
Nice. Yeah.
Okay. What about the Steelers situation with Connor and Samuels?
I like that, and I like Snell
that. That's
too.
a good 1-2 punch.
Yeah.
That's a great 1-2 punch.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would take it as deeper.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
And then the other two teams, obviously, we'd rather have the Browns with Hunt and Chubb,
That's
and
the best.
Mixon and Bernard.
If you want to have the Browns, go get your head examined.
Yeah, dude, that's gonna be the best 1-2 punch. Man.
That's one. That's like one in the league to me. That's
that's gonna be pretty nasty.
All right. What about Kamara and Latavius Murray?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, just because of Latavius Murray, I'm gonna have to go ahead and say yes.
Yeah, because they're deeper. They're two better than your one.
You got to look at the whole room. Yep.
They're two better than your one. That's the question.
Those two guys are better than your 2, your 3,
Jake?
your 4, your 5, your 6.
Yeah, I'll take it all day.
Your 9, your 10, your 11, your 12, your 13.
Give us a tougher one here, Ryan. Something that.
Ronald Jones and Keshawn Vaughn with the Buccaneers.
I'm going Eagles.
Yeah, no, Eagles.
Yeah, I'll take the Eagles.
All right. What about for the Kansas City Chiefs, since we're trying to be Kansas City light? Damian Williams and Clyde Edwards-Helaire.
I'm going to go
That's
Chiefs.
a nasty
I'm
combo.
going Chiefs.
I'm going Kansas City. Yep.
I'm going Kansas City.
Give me the Chiefs.
Yep.
All right.
They got more too.
Speed.
They've got more than those two.
Skills. That's why Saved by the Bell did a PSA about it.
You
How
want to see
about
some real
with-
speed, bitch?
How about with the Chargers? It's Austin Eckler and Justin Jackson.
I like those two, man.
I like
That's a
that.
tough
That is
one.
a good one, and Eckler's
And I
going to
like
be the number 1 now,
Yep.
Yeah.
and he deserves it.
Yeah. And Justin Jackson's a bad dude. He is.
Yeah,
I really like
give me
very
the
underrated.
Chargers. Give me the Chargers.
Yeah, Chargers.
I had a talk with
Justin
Westbrook
Jackson.
a couple years ago about Justin Jackson. We were talking about fantasy, and it was like the game before he went off, and I had put something about him being a sleeper, and Westbrook commented. I was like, God, what the? But we agreed on that, and then when it happened, I was like, yes. I mean, that's a guy that I, was a little upset last year that, we lost out on him, in fantasy for me, that he really dropped the ball for me. So that's a guy that would be intriguing to see on the Eagles, but that'll never happen because they've got themselves Eckler there at 1 now and Jackson at 2. So
You know what?
I'd go them.
I'll go Eagles. I'm going to stay Eagles on that one because I think Miles is better than both things they got in their room.
Oh, he's better than both of them for sure.
So when I think he's that much better than both they got in the room, I'm gonna take the Eagles on that. Just I think he's that much better than what they have.
Okay.
Like, they don't have that one. That one isn't there. I mean, you can say Eckler's a one. He's never been one before. How do we know he can handle the rock like that? You know what I mean? And then Jackson didn't really live up to anything, you know what I mean? Yet. So he's still in prove-it mode. You know, so I'll take the Eagles right now from what I've seen from Miles.
Okay, how about
Definitely see it.
How about the Raiders with Josh Jacobs and Devontae Booker and Lynn Bowden?
Eagles.
Well, Lynn Bowden wasn't he a wide receiver, quarterback? Or
yeah, that
like
kid's a
Brian?
trickster, man.
Yeah, they
He's
have
a trickster, man.
He was like a wide receiver.
Kentucky
Yeah, he was like a wide
something
receiver
like
when
that.
he was straight.
They're better.
Yeah.
They're better. They're better than us. They're better than us.
Rookie of the year.
I mean, Jacobs and Miles are right there with each other, right?
Yeah.
You can make an argument. Okay, now after that, they're better. They're better. Their number 2's better than Boston Scott.
I don't think Booker's better than. I mean, I can't really tell that.
So many guys are better than Boston Scott. We can't say that. Anybody
Booker sucks.
So and we know what Scott is. We don't even know what he is. I'm just making the argument that
I hear you.
How about Jalen Richard? Anybody with the Jalen Richard?
Jalen Richard.
Richard.
Yeah. He's actually pretty damn good. So that's a good one. That makes it a little harder when you say that because he's really good out of the backfield, catching the ball, and he's also a good return guy. So
he's a good pass catcher.
Raiders are pretty nice, man.
I'm going to stay with the Raiders on that one because I think they're just a little bit deeper. Deeper.
That Lynn Bowden's going to make them nasty. John Gruden is going to have some fun with that kid. So that's
how about the Bears with Montgomery and Tariq Cohen?
No, Eagles.
Yeah, I'm going Eagles.
On paper, maybe you say Bears, but no way.
Yeah, on paper, Bears, but the product.
They haven't lived up to it.
Struggled with that running game last year with those two.
True.
If Holyfield shocks us, I hope he does, man. The Dak attack, I truly hope he does. I'm not seeing it, man. No shot. So, but continue, right? The Miles is better than that. It trumps anything in their room. So, yeah, they're better than the Bears.
I'm not even going to bother with the other three in that division. The Lions, the Packers, and the Vikings. I'm just going to skip.
Yeah.
I'm just going to
no doubt.
Yeah. How about the Texans? They've got David Johnson and Duke Johnson.
No.
Eagles.
They're injured, and Duke Johnson hasn't done anything for that team. I'm going to go with the Eagles.
Yeah, I'm going Eagles on that one.
Like Tom said earlier, he's better than both of them. So I'll go.
I'll take anything. I'm never taking that room with Bill O'Brien. So
yeah. What a clown.
Oh my God! I saw there was a meme. I gotta pull it up real quick. Hold on.
While Ralphie's meme hunting, we'll go to the Tennessee Titans with Derrick Henry and Tom. I remember you liked this guy from the draft, Darrington Evans.
Yeah, I've been talking about that kid as someone that's going to hurt Derrick Henry's draft stock. I don't know if you were here last week, Ryan, but that was a guy we talked about, Darrington Evans. I think he's really going to eat into Henry's touchdown numbers. Not saying that he's not going to still have a great year, but I'm intrigued by him too. So that's awesome that Tom liked that kid because I think that's going to be a great 1-2 punch there. I wish we had something like that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how you don't take a room with Derrick Henry in it. Yeah, I mean, that's it. I mean, we only got to get to the other guy. I mean, that whoever the other guy, that's cute. So, and I like the other guy, so that's a win for them.
Yes, Dak
yes,
attack.
we are Dak attack.
Running back 2 ways. That's what we are doing. How about the Jaguars with Chris Thompson and Leonard Fournette?
Well, Thompson catches the ball out of the backfield well. It's always
I'm going Jags.
It's always been his MO. So
they're both hurt all the time. I'm going Eagles.
And they've got Raquel Armstead as well with Devin Zigbo as well.
Maybe if they were healthy, I'd think about it. And Chris Thompson 5 years ago.
But
I'm going Eagles.
I'm going to go with the Eagles.
Okay, the next division. How about for the Cardinals? Ralphie's top 5 offense in the league. We've got Kenyon Drake and a kid I actually like, and Chase Edmonds.
He's decent.
I got to go Eagles there. Even though
I'm going Eagles too.
You know, I'm Mr. Boston Scott. You know, I got to go Eagles.
And I'm hoping the best for Boston. We're not trying to sit here and kill the kid, but we're saying that you can't sit here and give this kid the second role. Like, he's the greatest, second coming. This is Darren Sproles. Like, pump the brakes. The guy got cut from a team that just lost Darren Sproles, gave him to us. You know, so if he couldn't really feel what Sean Payton was trying to do, I'm not too sold on that he's the greatest ever. So that's just my thoughts on that.
So how about the Rams with Cam Akers and Henderson?
I think they could be good in the future, but I haven't seen anything from them, so I'm going Eagles.
I'll take the Eagles.
Yeah.
Comfortably with the Eagles there.
Yeah.
Tom, you agree with that?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Okay. The Seahawks with Chris Carson and Carlos Hyde, and I guess if you want to put Penny in there as well for other shot Penny
Seahawks.
people.
If they're healthy, I'm taking Seahawks.
If they're healthy, yeah.
Seahawks all day, and it's not even close.
Yeah.
Not even close.
In terms of being deeper in talent, and you take the injuries out of it, yes, Seahawks.
Yeah, that's an intense room, man. If they stay healthy, they could just run the ball down your throat, man. Whew.
See, I think I'll play devil's advocate here. I think it's closer because I think Miles is way better than Chris Carson. Because the one thing with Carson, and injuries do play a part of it, he fumbles the football a ton. I know because unfortunately I've had him on my fantasy team the last 3 years. So a ton of negative yardage, and two, Carlos Hyde is just a guy, and I don't like Rashad Penny at all. So I'm looking at it to where the 2 and 3 for them are just guys, and I think Miles is like, if I had to rank, Miles is like around top 10. I think Chris Carson's closer to 20 than he is 10. So
yeah, they've got more names. That's all. I mean, if you guys want to hear something crazy? Though? This is like a little off topic, but it's still football.
Yeah,
I just saw this about Darrelle Revis back in 2009. Right, this is how great he was in 2009. You want to hear how crazy this is? Notable wide receivers he held under 35 yards. Okay, in 2009. So in one season, these are the guys he held under 35 yards. Andre Johnson, Randy Moss twice, Marquise Colston, who played for the Saints, Terrell Owens twice, Torrey Holt, Steve Smith, Reggie Wayne, Chad Ochocinco.
Wow.
All
I mean,
combined, he held him for under 35 yards.
He held every one of these guys when he went against them under 35.
Jesus
And he
Christ.
did Moss twice and Owens twice in 09.
Yeah.
That's wild, dude.
He was awesome, dude. That guy was Revis Island.
Yeah, I mean, you don't get the island for no reason. I mean, these are guys that need to get these guys who get the
Hall
football.
of Famers, dude.
I mean,
Hall of
Andre
Famers.
Johnson, Randy Moss twice, Marquise Colston, Terrell Owens twice, Torrey Smith, Steve Smith, Reggie Wayne, Chad Ochocinco. Holy shit. Holy shit. I mean, you can't even. You want to talk about it? We need a guy working TSA for the USA? I mean, that's Darrelle Revis. Woo.
that's crazy. That's crazy.
Pat down like a son of a
That's
bitch.
wild.
Yeah.
Continue, Rye.
So how about, and this is as of right now because somebody requested a trade. Let's go to the 49ers with Mostert and Coleman.
Well, they've also got
and-
McKinnon, and
McKinnon.
I think he could be pretty phenomenal. Breeda's on the
Breeda's
Dolphins
on the
now.
Yeah,
He is on the Dolphins now.
Yeah, yeah.
Got traded.
But I'm still going 49ers.
I still go
I'm
Niners.
going-
And
Yeah,
they still
Tevin
got the
Coleman
best
and-
fullback in Kyle Juszczyk. So
He went somewhere else too, didn't he?
Juice, I believe, is still with the Niners.
Is
Yes, he's still there.
he? Okay. I thought he went somewhere or something.
Yeah,
That'd be wild.
With Shanahan in there, I mean, he makes anybody great. So.
Yeah. Oh man, they are really scary in running the ball. So I agree. I think
So
for sure.
now we've reached our final division, the AFC East. We go to the Bills when they have Devin Singletary, and I believe they have who's the kid they drafted? Oh, help me, Ralphie.
They
Help
did
me.
get somebody.
Zach Moss. Zach Moss.
Yes.
Yeah.
I wanted us to get him, and that's.
And
Gonna
TJ
be
Yeldon
intriguing.
for all the TJ Yeldon people.
I'm going Eagles. I like that room. I like Devin Singletary, but I'm going Eagles on that one because I think Miles is phenomenal.
Yeah, I'm going
I'll go
Eagles.
Eagles.
Yeah, I'll go Eagles. As much as I love Devin Singletary, give me the Eagles.
Fly, Eagles, fly on this one.
We go to the Dolphins, Jordan Howard and Matt Breida.
Dolphins.
I'd love to have him back.
Yeah,
Dolphins.
Dolphins.
Things.
I'll go Eagles.
I'd go with the Eagles too, man. I like Jordan Howard, but I don't know how his shoulder is, and Breida also gets injured a lot. So the Dolphins suck. We'll see if they even use them right. I'm just gonna go with the Eagles.
I'm going Birds too, boys. I mean, this one's an easy one for me, even though I love Howard a lot. But Miles is better than what they got in their room.
Yeah, I same thing with the. I'll bring up the same thing I brought up with the Seahawks. I think Miles is borderline top 10. I love Howard, but he's 28, top 30 running back, and Breida's maybe top 50. You know what I mean? So while Scott's probably top 90, you know what I mean? I mean, you have a top 10 running back in the room here. So The Patriots with Michelle and White, and I guess Burkhead if we want to put in
But
Burkhead.
what about Danny Vitale?
Here he comes, Frankie. You're right. Listen, Patriots.
Like fullbacks. All right. Like them fullbacks.
White and Michelle are better than our room.
I'm going to go with the Eagles. I like James White, and I like what they did with Burkhead and White and all that with Tom Brady there. Not so sure that it's going to be the same thing you see from those guys without Tom Brady. Not saying Cam Newton won't be good, but it's going to be a way different team.
But no,
I'll
but
go with
the
the Eagles.
No, it almost is like it almost opens up the running game, Jimmy. The
I hear you.
fact that
I
he
think
can
Michelle will do good. Yeah.
no, but the fact that he can run and the fact that Cam is actually more accurate throwing the backs than he is wide receivers. You know what I mean? So I think I know exactly what you're saying, and it's not like I fully disagree. It's just that with Cam there, I almost think that them two backs can still thrive.
You're right. He's going to have to dump it off a lot. You're right.
That's the only reason, because he's not an accurate guy. He's accurate with the deep ball, you know what I mean, certain things, but he really likes throwing the backs out of the backfield. So I think
I want to see if he can make them look as good as Tom did, but I'm with you on that. You're right. You're right.
Yeah, nobody's going to make him Tom, but I still think White and Michelle are better than the two we got in our room as a combo. That's all.
I hear what you're saying. Sure.
I think the Patriots running room, this was the hardest one for me. I think if you want to go talent-wise combined, I think the Patriots running room is the closest to us right now. Mm-hmm. I think as far as 1A, 1B.
No, you can't say that because James White's got rings.
He's proven. Yeah, he's proven.
Shit. Like that's
helped me in fantasy.
That's unfair. I know what you're trying. I know what you're saying in the comparison in terms of like their second back's more of a scatter, more of a catch the ball, the backfield guy, but just been in the league forever doing it.
Oh yeah, I understand that.
And Michelle,
more experience. Yeah,
Michelle's been, certainly Michelle's been in the league longer than Miles Sanders, so he has a track record of success here too. So that's why they get the edge to me. They got rings, regardless. They got rings. They're proven. I got to take them. I'll be an idiot.
It's great.
Oh no, I agree. I go.
You're an idiot. You know what I mean? I'm just saying.
I
feel pressure. They'll be like, the track record. How do I not?
I totally hear what you're saying. I do.
But I know the comparison you were going with. I feel like I did, because that is a similarity. Like, shit, if Boston Scott can be James White in this league, win. Doubt it, Howie. Win.
Yeah.
Please, for the love of
God,
can something good go our way?
If we drafted Boston Scott, I would say no shot. But hey, he was drafted by somebody else, so maybe there's a shot. You know what I mean? Yeah. We poached him. And the final team, I feel like this might strike an argument, this is why I saved it for last. The Jets, Le'Veon Bell and Frank Gore.
Jets.
Oh, I hear a lot of silence.
Jets.
They don't have Ty Montgomery anymore either, do they?
They don't.
No, I think he's.
You really said the Jets. You really said the Jets. Hold on.
Ralphie did say the Jets.
I don't like Frank Gore, and Le'Veon Bell's hurt all the time, and I wasn't one of those people that wanted Le'Veon Bell when he was free agent. I'm going the Eagles, baby.
What? You didn't want Le'Veon Bell at the time?
Come on. He's a great running back. Don't get me wrong. I just didn't think he was.
Ralph. I didn't want Le'Veon either. You're telling me Miles Sanders, you don't think our running back room's better
you just hate greatness. That's all.
Hate greatness. Hey, Frank Gore.
Le'Veon's a great running back.
He is.
Great running back.
But I don't think Miles Sanders is less than him where it comes to.
Ralphie, Le'Veon Bell was great.
Are you taking
2 ACL tears ago?
Are you taking Boston Scott or Frank Gore? That's all it comes down to. That's what it comes down to for me.
At this point of their career, though, I mean, I'm almost tempted to take the younger guy, but how can I run away from a Hall of Famer? I totally understand that. I get that, but they're a little longer in the tooth, babe. I mean, that's longer in the tooth. I still got a top 10 running back here. I still got a young guy who's explosive, and we've seen it. So I don't want to disrespect our room now. I don't get too disrespectful on our damn room.
See, we love them, guys.
Now you're getting too damn disrespectful, Le'Veon Bell. Grow up. Grow the hell up.
Okay? You should be in Midnight Green. Midnight Green.
Overpay Le'Veon Bell. Andre Dillard. Andre Dillard going to call Le'Veon Benson and SVU.
Le'Veon Bell deserves that money.
All right.
Deserves that money. Come on. Don't say
I was
overpay.
right, by the way. I was right. I knew there would be
Benson on speed dial, Ralph.
Le'Veon Bell deserves that money.
Get a Le'Veon on speed dial. You got her number?
He should have been in Philly. He should. If I was the GM, he's in Philly right now. But
Yeah, and so Antonio Brown, and then we would be.
I wasn't for that.
Oh yes, you
One of
were.
the worst off seasons. I had to deal with that stuff.
I'm sure you were.
No shot.
We'll find tape. It's around.
To Ralph's, that was me. That was me.
That was right.
That was me.
Unbelievable.
So say sorry and move on.
I'll say.
Listen, it was desperation. Okay, I hate it.
I understand
It
that.
happened on your guy's show, so you're guilty by association, honey.
That's fair.
You're guilty by association. You've been doing it so long with each other. You almost said it then too. So I'm not even going to go around. I'm going to go with you. You wanted Antonio. You let that happen on your show.
He allowed it to happen. He said nothing.
You crumb brulette.
Ralphie, let me just ask you this, okay?
What's up, buddy?
Who would you rather have, Miles Sanders or Le'Veon Bell?
Le'Veon Bell.
I knew it.
Oh. Good night, everybody.
Le'Veon Bell.
Frank's out.
Sorry.
I'm out.
I'm sorry.
I like Le'Veon, but come on, dude. Come
But
on.
he's still a top 5 running back in the league, though, Tommy. There's no argument on that. No matter what.
Is
He
he?
is. He is.
Top 10. Top 10.
Top 5.
The 5.
Come on. He is.
Wait, I'm sorry.
McCaffrey, Barkley, Cook, Ezekiel. I'd probably
And
put
Bell.
Miles over him too.
You're putting Miles over
Spidey, you
Le'Veon.
had too much to drink, Spidey.
After 1 year, you're putting
You're right. You're right. I mean,
After 1
Le'Veon,
year,
I
you're
just feel
putting
with his
Miles over
injuries.
Le'Veon.
I
Did we
think he's
forget-
falling
did we
off. I think
forget-
he's falling
Hold
off.
on. Did we forget what he did in Pittsburgh? For all
3
these years?
years ago,
Yeah,
Ralph.
Come on, man.
Years.
But I also don't live off that.
Ralph.
Come
Ralph,
on.
3 years
Miles
ago.
Ralph.
was never here, though. Miles
Ralph.
isn't here for that, though, Jimmy.
Ralph.
I hear you.
That's irrelevant then.
One thing, Ralph.
I'm just saying that was 3 years ago when he was that good, and I still think he's a great running back. I don't think right now with a young guy that has so much promise, I'd take a guy that's at the end of his road.
I'll tell you something, Ralph. You gotta look a little deeper because you. This is why you're a crumble lot, right? Because you do things like this. You don't look at the locker room and the type of guy is too. But you don't look at the extra. You look at a guy who didn't show up.
Now I know
Hold
why
on.
you don't want him.
I look at a little loyalty too, hon, because I look at a guy that left his team out to dry that year in Pittsburgh. He had zero loyalty to that
He should
organization.
have gotten his money a long time ago, dude. Come on, man.
Are you going to let me finish what I'm saying? Then you can feel free to talk about money.
He carried that team in Pittsburgh.
Derrick
Come
Henry.
on, man.
Ben Roethlisberger and Antonio
Sure.
Brown, them guys were good. You're right.
Come on, dude.
So I
Come on.
digress on that, right? Because they weren't any good. But what I am going to tell you is, you look a little deeper. That guy left his teammates out to dry. His teammates went from defending him to throwing him to the wolves because that's what he did to them. Where was his loyalty to that organization? If he would have came and showed up,
Where was the
if he would
loyalty?
have came and showed up, he would have got paid. If he would have came and showed up, he would have got paid.
Oh, come on.
The fact that you don't show up, you ain't going to get paid because you ain't showing up. He's a crumb. I don't want none of that shit in my damn
And
life.
that's why you didn't want him. Okay, now I know why.
No, well, that's facts. I'm not bringing you bullshit here. I'm supplying you facts on how much of a crumb a player is, and that's why I don't want him in my locker room. But you think it's mad, and he's got a nice rating. He catches the ball in the backfield.
No, dude, he's still
You had him in a
he's
franchise
top
mode a
five- he's
couple
top
years
five in
ago.
the league, dude.
Yeah, you had him in franchise mode a couple years ago. He did wonders for your club. Grow up.
Chuck Senior.
That may
Someone
not
just
be a
said.
lie. That may not be a lie. Okay.
Chuck Senior. Ryan, what did you want to say?
I have a question. I might have two.
Shoot.
I maybe I didn't hear it because I was on the floor.
You don't have questions, Antonio. Antonio don't get questions now.
No, not at all. When I was on the floor, did I hear Ralphie say that Le'Veon Bell's a top 5 running back?
He is, dude.
Did.
He is a top 5.
On what planet?
What?
I give him top 10, but I wouldn't give him top
Take it
5.
easy. Hold on. Pump her brakes because there might be 2 attacks. Jake, you're with him, I think. I think
No.
you're with
With
Ralphie.
Le'Veon? No.
Oh
No.
my God.
Not with Le'Veon.
Fine, I'm on my own
Frank,
island.
Le'Veon or
Hell yeah.
Miles?
I'm on my own island. I got all the food I want. All
You
I
ain't
want.
the well,
That's
baby.
fine.
Give me
Yeah.
mine.
It might be all going by tonight, but hey,
I'll
I'm
get
on my own.
120 on you on your island. You ain't the Ralph. I'm going for 120 and 2 touches.
I
Ralph-
can't believe you guys don't think he's still a top. I think he's top 5 still.
Top
Ralph,
10,
who's
yeah.
your
I'll think
5?
top 5.
And who's your 5? Because I want to hear who you're leaving out of this.
Your number 1 is McCaffrey. Then you have Barkley, Zeke,
Okay.
Dalvin, Le'Veon Bell.
Henry's better than Bell.
Derrick Henry. Yep.
After 1 year, Derrick Henry's better than Le'Veon Bell.
1 year.
Derrick Henry
One
didn't
year.
fit his first 3 years in the league, dude.
1
What are
year.
you talking about?
Where you been watching?
Come on, man. Derrick Henry.
Watching.
Did Joe
Dude,
Mixon retire?
Come on, bro.
Did Bradley?
Come on.
Did
Joe Mixon's
I
better
don't know
than
if I'd
Le'Veon Bell.
give Mixon.
Yeah.
I
Joe
don't think.
Mixon.
I can't get Joe Mixon.
I
I
can't
would
do
give
that.
Mixon.
I can't get
No.
Mixon.
Joe Mixon. is better
Kamara,
than Le'Veon
maybe.
Bell, Ryan.
Maybe
You're
Kamara.
absolutely
Yeah.
crazy, dude.
Eh.
You're crazy.
I'll take Joe Mixon any day and twice on Sunday.
Oh my god.
I would take Bell over Mixon.
Derrick Henry had
I'd
one
take Bell
gold
over.
year, Tommy, and now he's top 5. Le'Veon had 5 or 6 of them already, dude.
And they were 5-6
Come
years
on,
ago,
man.
Ralph. He hasn't had a good season
It
in
doesn't
3
matter.
years.
He's still a top 5.
How? If you haven't had a good
Okay,
season
so how is a guy? How is a guy that has 1 year that did phenomenal for 1 year? How is he automatically top 5? That makes
Ralphie.
no sense, dude.
Ralphie,
Makes no
this is
sense.
the list. Ralph, this is the list.
Go right ahead.
It's McCaffrey, Barkley,
Uh-huh.
Elliott,
Yep.
Cook.
Yep. Le'Veon. See,
Hold on.
you got to put him top
I'm
5.
thinking. Let me think.
Okay.
Okay.
I want to hear your. I want to hear your 5th one.
Henry.
Oh my god! After 1 year, we're crowning Derrick Henry as a top 5 guy.
What you have in the
Have
league?
you seen? Have you seen his first years in the league?
What you have in the league right now? This is what you're
Oh
going.
my god!
Okay, because
Holy shit.
Le'Veon is still probably a top 8 to me. So let you know.
Oh my god!
Okay,
Chubb, by the way.
I like
Nick
Chubb.
Chubb is
Chubb,
over. Is better than Le'Veon Bell.
Yes.
Oh my!
Yes.
No way, dude!
No, I don't know. See, I don't know.
No
about-
way, dude!
What about Mark Ingram or Josh Jacobs? What are
No,
Take-
no
would you
way.
take
No,
Bell
Nah.
over them?
No.
no, I'm taking Bell over both of them.
I would
Well,
too.
are we talking for? Well, hold on. Are we talking for 1 season or are we talking for 5 years?
We're talking right now,
Right now.
dude. Right
So for
now.
a season.
Right,
For a
just
season.
right now, dude. And on July 10th,
Jacobs.
Friday at 10
More
Yeah,
explosive.
I'm taking Jacobs.
I'm thinking Jacobs more explosive right now. More explosive. More in the tank. More in the tank.
I just don't.
I got to see a little more, but it's close.
Derrick Henry
I don't.
over Le'Veon is insane for me.
No, you can fall in love with a track record at the running back position, but at some point, young guys come in with more in the tank, babe. Okay.
Nick Chubb. Nick
Derrick
Chubb.
Henry hasn't been shit except for last year.
Who are you talking about now?
Derrick Henry for 1 year, he's already top 5.
That's not fair to say he hasn't done anything. Because I'm pretty sure he's going to be
Tommy,
That's
come
a
on,
my fantasy league like 2
Tommy,
years in a row.
Tommy, don't you do this, dude? Come on, man. Come
Don't
on.
do that, Ralph.
They
Don't
traded.
do
They traded for DeMarco Murray, okay, and DeMarco would have taken his job if he didn't get hurt that year. Come
All
on,
right, who are
man.
you taking, Ralph? Melvin Gordon or Le'Veon?
I'm going Le'Veon. He's better than Melvin Gordon.
So Ralph, last year he
Melvin
finally.
Gordon- hold on. You think
Ralph.
Melvin Gordon's better than Le'Veon Bell?
Right now,
Can I
yes.
say something to you?
That's crazy.
In 2018, he finally got a workload of some sort, right? In 2017, he only got 176 carries, 5 TDs, okay? But in 2018, he finally started getting a workload with 215 carries, over 1,000 yards, and 12 TDs, right? And then
I'll bring up Le'Veon stats then.
I'm pulling up the last 2 years, Ralph, because Le'Veon didn't play one of the years. So recall that, okay? Remember that in this equation. So over the last 2 years, Derrick Henry has been more productive of doing what? Finding the damn end zone. You get paid in this league. To find the end zone. That's the money zone, okay? So you can't.
Has he? I don't think he's been paid yet.
Who?
Derrick Henry.
What does that have to do with anything?
You said he gets paid if he finds the end zone.
I
He
said
hasn't
you get paid in this league to find the end zone. So when I'm saying who's better than somebody,
that's just silly to me.
I'm going to take the guy who scored 28 touchdowns over the last 2 seasons, okay? I'm going to lean to that guy. So don't tell me that guy hasn't done anything. Because I just ruined you. I Vince Cartered you.
He only had 3 touchdowns last year, and he had 9 in 2017. So he only had 12 in his 2 last full years.
He was a
12.
star, and there's no argument on that. No argument. Carry.
Who's been more productive the last 2 years?
Obviously, Derrick Henry.
So don't tell me he hasn't done anything then. So I'm going to take the guy who's been more productive over the last 2 years.
My argument is we're putting Derrick Henry in the top 5 after one phenomenal year.
2 years of finding the end zone,
Look
man.
at Proner's best friend's comment.
It's not 1 year. He had over 1,000 yards in 2018 too. Win 20 touchdowns.
We'll see what he does this year. We'll see what he does this year.
Ralph, he's been more productive than the guy.
I understand that.
That's the whole conversation. Who's been more productive over the last 2 years? I'm gonna take him. I'm gonna take Josh.
My argument is I'm not putting Derrick Henry in my top 5 off of 1 year though, dude.
It's not 1 year though. That's what you keep running back to, and I keep correcting you on. It's not 1 year. Over the last 2 years, he's been more productive. 26 touchdowns in 2 years.
And,
no, 28.
Le'Veon Bell had 12 when you compare 2017 and 2019. You can cut out 2018. But if you put 2, he had 9 touchdowns and he had 3 last year. And he was averaging like 3.2 yards per carry last year. And in 17, he was only averaging 4 yards per carry, but he did have 1,291 yards. So he did well for the Steelers, but then he played his whole little game and did his thing. Then he went to the Jets and kind of fell off. He played 15 games last year, but he only had over 700 yards. So I'm not saying that he's not a great running back. I just think things are starting to go in the declining way, whereas I see Miles going in the opposite way. That's just my...
Yeah, I'm not going to maybe take, I think Miles is better than him. I think Josh Jacobs is better than him right now. Derrick Henry's better than him.
We're going right now, man. All right.
Josh Jacobs is better than him right now. So, I mean, if we're going right now, these are guys that are better than him.
Right now, yeah.
More productive. Even last year, all these guys are more productive than him. Guy found the end zone 3 times. You're the cow. You're the guy who touched the ball more than anybody. And you find the end zone 3 times? And listen,
on the Jets.
I can't say Kareem Hunt is right now because he hasn't touched the field, right? So that's not fair. I can't even make that assessment.
I'm going Le'Veon over it.
Kareem Hunt on the field in the past, that's a close one because those were Kamara and Bell.
I saw Kamara and Hunt. Why don't you give them both?
That one's tough.
Yeah,
that one's tough. But I mean, I do have Bell like my top 8 to 10 though. I'm not like kicking him out of there.
It's definitely tough.
If Mark Ingram was still with Kamara, I would take Kamara because he was so much better. I think with that 1-2 punch being there. But
and I'm not gonna say Ingram's better than him, but I just can't because of the ACL, right? Like when you tear something now, it's like I got to see he come back. Like if he didn't tear it, right? Then I would probably, because of production, take Ingram over the last 2 years, right? Because he's been more productive in finding the end zone too. But the injury, I'm going to take Le'Veon over Ingram because I trust him more for this next year. Make sense?
I would take that, yeah.
Ralph, I kept hearing you say that Le'Veon Bell carried the Steelers, all over the place. What did he carry him to? First off, he didn't carry him to anything. Second of all,
come on, man.
What did he carry him to?
Can't carry him to playoffs, dude. Come on, man. They relied on Le'Veon, dude.
In 2017?
Are you freaking high?
Come on.
In 2017, though?
You're crazy.
If you're talking 2017, Antonio Brown had over 1,500 yards.
Did Ben Roethlisberger and Antonio Brown retire?
And Le'Veon had over 1,000 yards that year still. What are you talking about? What's up, buddy? What's up?
If we're going over production the last 2 years.
Oh, my God. Here we
go. Your argument makes zero sense. 0 cents. 0 cents. Okay? Get off. There we go. To tell you that. Maybe you listen to that. And then hold on. One more thing he needs to listen to. Who's more productive over the last 2 years? Derrick Henry or Le'Veon Bell?
Henry.
Ralphie, in this
and that's even if you include Bell's 17 season.
Yeah, you can. Just for the fun of it. Ralphie, in this whole freaking La La Land freaking narrative of, oh my God, we're going to have certain guys carry certain teams. Are you just going to ignore the fact that Derrick Henry literally carried the Titans?
You're going to ignore that, Ralph?
Oh my God, dude. He did, though.
You're going to ignore it?
I'll give him that. He did. He did. Ryan Tannehill did this.
Frank, you're going to ignore it, Frank? Who's better? Henry? Bell.
Derrick Henry.
Oh my God.
Done. Going to another one. Hold on. Everybody hold on. Jake, who's better? Henry or Bell?
I'm going with Derrick Henry.
Oh my God.
Hold on. We're going to swing the board, baby. Jimmy, who's better? Henry or Bell?
Derrick Henry.
One more. One more for Queen. Clean sweep. Ryan, who's better? Henry or Bell?
Derrick Henry.
Ralphie, hold on.
Clean sweep.
How does that feel?
I'm fine.
All by myself.
Go lay down the bed now. Go lay down the bed.
Don Johnson, who was more productive in the last 2 years, Adrian Peterson or Bell? Oh, please.
Well, first off, Bell missed a year in 18, so probably.
That's the funny thing. Ralphie's boy took the year off. He had a Jordan
vacation.
year. Exactly. He had a friggin' Jordan year.
He's
I can't wait. I hope the NFL goes off so I can just shut all you guys up.
What are you, a Jets fan now?
For you guys,
Roll Green.
Everybody, I got a question for everybody. So we just saw in New Jersey high school fall sports pushed back to October now.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So my question to you guys, and I know we haven't like talked about something like this in a while because it seems like everything was working its way back in the right direction. And that's going to depend on how this summer goes with the other major sports, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
But with your gut feeling, and you have a couple options here. You know, when do we play football, right? And you can have a no, we don't play at all, or no, we get off. We start late, right? We start in October, right? Or we do play right on time, no fans. Or obviously the fourth answer would be we play fans, it continues. I want to get your guys' thoughts and opinions on that and the family, because I think it's, granted, we don't know the end because we got to see the other ones work themselves out. So nobody's Nostradamus here. We don't got crystal balls. So it's just gut feelings.
Man, I really don't see it.
First.
Go for it.
I mean, if you look at the UFC, right, just in general, it's blood, sweat, and tears, and that, and they've only had a couple cases
here
pop
and
up here and there. I mean,
not 50 players though. Not 50.
I understand that. I understand, but you would think more people would get it because of the situation that they're in.
Yeah, but they don't fight enough people. They're not up. You know what I mean? Like the football, you're up against everybody. It's like that's a massacre out there. You know what I mean? There's no avoiding contact. In UFC, you're fighting one guy. You're not fighting 11 other people on the other side.
Yeah, no, I totally understand that. But
I know your point's valid. It's just not a big enough sample size to say, yeah, that works. Like the NBA, when you have now more, we're really going to see it, Ralphie, right? Yeah. Because now
this is the big thing. This is the big thing coming up here at the end of July is with the NBA.
Ryan, we were on the show together that night.
Yeah.
We sat in here, and when the NBA went dark, right? Everything else filed suit. Yeah. So we said it that night. The NBA's got to lead us back here. They're going to be the ones that have to set the tone, and they are. They're trying. Terrible food down there, it looks like, but they're trying. And what it looks like, we're going to find out because there's a bigger sample size of players now. Okay, can this contact work? And if it does, let's go. Because the NBA, the NFL, listen, they'll just bubble off too. A little harder to do, more players, but they'll work it in. Like my gut feeling is they're because they're big business, they're going to do everything they can not to lose money. Yep. And they're going to try to bubble players and make it work, even if the other sports say don't work. But I think every one of these sports is going to force it. The only one that can't is the NBA because there's not enough guys to sign. Major League Baseball is going to finish. There's so many players. Other guys will come in. They're going to finish. Okay? Yeah. NFL has the capabilities because they already told you, they're extending practice squads, which means now they're allowing you to have more guys. Why? Because they're setting up for guys to miss time. Right? So I'm interested to see where it goes. I'm hoping they start on time, but I want to get all your guys' opinions on what you think out of them 4 answers.
Frank, you can go ahead next if you want, man.
All right. So for me, I'm going to say it starts on time, but I don't think they're going to have fans.
Yeah, I think that's an easy one. I agree.
Yeah. And I agree with that. Even if they do have fans, I mean, there's so many what ifs, especially with the rise in cases across the country. Mm-hmm. And of course, we are seeing some cases rise a bit in Pennsylvania. They just reported 1,000 new cases for the first time in a little over a month. And if they do decide to open up with fans, I would guess that they're probably going to operate at a 25% capacity. Mm-hmm. But for now, it's looking like there's going to be no fans.
Yeah. And they're trying to force feed the fans. They're going to try to make money off of it. They're going to try not to lose.
That's where it always comes down to.
Yeah, that's what they're trying to do. I think
so. They'll force it. Yeah.
They'll try to force it. But they're probably going to limit it to like certain sections and possibly, the clubs or the suites.
Yeah, you're not going to get
The
anywhere.
real money come from those suites.
Yeah,
exactly.
You're going to get nowhere near them. You're going to get nowhere near the field, right? So, like, everything they set up, and they can make it work in the NFL because it's outside, right? So they can make it work. Beans it's not inside, and I'm not a doctor, but I talk to some, right? It's almost like I say to a Holiday Inn Express, you know what I mean? But, transmission rate inside is way higher. So outside away, the fans are the only ones affected by each other, not the players. So you can still bubble that off, right? So I agree with you guys on that. I can see the 25% because they can make it work in the NFL. They absolutely could. Because you're signing, NFL fans are crazy. They'll sign waivers saying I won't do nothing. I won't do nothing. I ain't signing that goddamn waiver.
You know people are already ready to send their kids out to pasture, man. People will definitely be signing up for the football, man. Ryan, what are your thoughts? Or Jake, sorry.
Yeah, my thing is, and I'm going to talk about it on my show tomorrow, is that, and Frank hit it right on the head where I was going to go. Like, I think they're going to have 25%, and even, like Frank said, you have your little private suites and whatever, and you have your upper part of the stadium where it's big and spread out. You have a bunch of seats, so you can do 6 feet or, like, however many rows and spaces you want to do it that way. But obviously, it also brings the question as well is, like, if you're going to have fans in the stadium, then what's going to stop people from tailgating then? Because people got to park somewhere.
Yep.
Well, that's where you're going to limit your parking areas, right? Yeah. So I'm sure they're going to do that. I'm sure they're not going to allow tailgating. Right. So, if you want to go to the game, you drunk at your own damn house and an Uber in. You know what I mean? They're not going to allow that. They're probably only going to have certain concessions, like, you know what I mean? Where
they'll limit capacities, like especially in the lines.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's going to.
Of course, the pro shop. It's always packed on Sundays over in the pro shop.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
I think you're going to see a lot of things space out, and I believe 25% at Lincoln Financial Field. I think it's about 70,000. You're probably expecting 18,000 fans to be in the link. So
18 or 16, yeah, Frank, right around.
Yeah, which
that's still a lot of people.
It's still a lot of people, but can you trust that one person doesn't have the virus there? I mean, somebody with the virus is going to show up.
Oh, absolutely.
Somebody's going to be reckless and show up at the stadium.
Yep, it's going to start, and then it's all going to get shut down.
Yep.
They're going to try to get as much money as they can because they're big business.
Yeah.
Who was up next, Jake?
Ryan, what are your thoughts on it, man?
See, I actually think I'm going to go in a different direction here. I think we're going to see a delayed start because I agree with you, Tom, with the MLB thing. Just because there's so many athletes at their disposal.
60-man roster plus all the guys they're saying this they're telling young arms in their system stay ready. So they're telling guys that
the reason why I think we're headed towards a delayed start, that could be anywhere from early October to where I could see them really getting cute and being like the NFL saying, oh well, we want to come back at fans, and them doing like a Thanksgiving Day launch type thing, but with fans. You know what I'm saying? But the reason why I think we're heading for a delayed start is I don't love the chances of them getting out scot-free in the NBA situation. I get it's the bubble and everything, but that's the one thing that they don't have the luxury of like the MLB does, which is numbers, which is replacements to where, if one team, and I'm not wishing it, I hope I'm dead wrong. Honestly, I'm rooting against this situation. But, say, for example, we're already seeing it with, a handful of practices here and there. The Nugget situation, that organization is a mess, with the Jokic, situation. If that happens to a very small degree while they're playing, or now that everyone's down there, it's going to be a mess because then it's going to start a chain reaction. And then it's going to be the lack of trust with players, lack of trust with staffers. Mm-hmm. And they talked about it. We've listened to a lot of, athletes that have been on podcasts, JJ Redick's talked about it to where everything has to go so perfect to where if one person has a minor slip up, it could obviously sacrifice this entire operation. Yep. So that's why I believe, I hope we see, the entire NBA playoff session. I hope we see the entire, us get to and actually crown a champion. Oh, hell, I hope it's the 76ers, but I don't love the chances of that just because the margin for error is literally non-existent. If one guy, and you see it, listen, we're all human. once you get in the same, location, you're going to start getting comfortable, and then you're going to start getting confident. Oh, I can get away with this. And there's so many people down there. It'd be one thing if it was just 10 guys competing for a prize. You have all these teams down there. So I think once the NBA has trouble, like Tom's point where, myself, Tom, and Ralph, we were on the air the night where everything hit the fan, a handful of months ago. Once that shuts down or it has a hiatus, it's going to start a reaction again and again and again.
That's the problem.
Shut down though, guys, because I think the bubble will work. Because I don't think guys can't leave it. You know what I mean? You're not leaving it. They're going to get caught leaving it. And if guys do that, then they're going to be all over getting crushed on social media for leaving it. You know what I mean? So I think
putting big fines in place and stuff. So maybe they'll do the same.
I think it can work because of the bubble. Like if there was no bubble and guys could do whatever they wanted to do, definitely a bigger chance. But if all these guys have already been cleared, they got it. They got a pretty good chance of continuing it, right? It's just about everybody buying in to the couple months of, hey, we're quarantining to play basketball, and just now these guys can learn how to be teammates and have fun with each other. Because once you're all in the bubble, you can hang out with other guys in the bubble. You know what I mean? I don't see why I'm sure they're allowed to.
Well, see, I'm not. I completely agree with you. I'm not necessarily concerned about the players. I'm more concerned about, like, say for example, one of the workers gets sick down there. If I'm not even talking player, if one person,
you're not wrong.
If one person gets sick down there and they don't know it, it's over.
Yeah. Well, that's my thoughts on it. It's literally, it doesn't make any sense because you're already seeing nobody's taking it seriously. Like it's most of the world just like somebody just said like bar lives matter. Like people, it's just going to take one idiot to mess it all up. So it's scary. So Ryan, I agree with you that we definitely could be looking at some things pushed back because even right now, it's like first it was, well, we could be cutting out week 1 and 4 of preseason. Now there's talk that we might not even have a preseason. You hear about the extended practice squad players, all that good stuff. It makes you think, oh, dear God. But once again, we come back to the fact that the NFL is all about the money. So if they can risk people, they will definitely do what they can, as much as they can to get away with that, I really feel. So it's really a tough subject. And if you listen to doctors, and Frank even said, look at the cases, they're skyrocketing. So, and Tom alluded to it, they got a bubble, man. They got a quarantine. We got to know they're safe before they go around each other and then stay in this bubble, man. We got to do this perfectly if we ever want to have hope. But it's scary as hell, man, because one mistake is all it takes. One guy going out to eat the wrong place or something. And they've talked about finding these guys and doing stuff. So it's kind of scary. But man, it's been 2 hours, and I can't believe we sat here and literally talked about the running backs, and then right at the end there, we got a little bit different stuff. But we truly talked about that for 2 hours.
Thanks, Howie Roseman. Thank you, Howie.
Yeah, and literally that's what gave me. I was like, you know what, we're gonna go from there, and then we'll just take the last hour of questions. Now we always take your guys' questions, but I just figured we would just let it tail off. Now that's been wild. One of the things I did want to talk about though before we go, guys, is tomorrow, big day. Jake. He has a big announcement. Jake, why don't you make the announcement for you got yourself an interview tomorrow?
Yeah, so obviously tomorrow we're going to be interviewing former Eagles All-Pro offensive tackle Trey Thomas tomorrow, so that should be a lot of fun. Everyone come check it out, 1 p.m. He'll be on at 1:30, but we'll be kicking off the show at 1 p.m. tomorrow.
Yep, another great interview for A2D. It's sad. I was really looking forward to being on with it, and then, baseball officially back.
Mm-hmm. You're there for those kids, Tom, and that's
I can't. Man for that. But, these guys will do a great job, and I'm sure Trey's going to do great, and it's going to be a fun time. So looking forward to being able to listen back to it after the fact tomorrow night. So have fun with it, boys, and go block out the sun like Trey does.
Yeah, right.
Know it. And Tom, we appreciate you giving us a platform to be able to do stuff like this, man.
Oh, brother, this is what it's all about. One question you have to ask from me, Jake, tomorrow is, or somebody, whoever, is, can you still play left tackle? That's all I need from me. I need to know because I'll sign it.
I love it. Well, guys, tune in tomorrow at 1:00 because it is going to be a great time. Yeah, I appreciate everyone that tuned in, man. It was seriously awesome. And for all my guests, Ryan, Tom, Ralph, Frank, Jake, you guys were awesome. I appreciate every time you guys come on.
Well, and not Ralph, but yeah, I agree with all the rest of it. Yep.
Gotta love the close-ups. Gotta love the heated debates. You guys are awesome, and all the fans chiming in. We love you guys. Appreciate you tuning in. Tune in next Friday, 9 o'clock. We'll be here. But check out all of ththese guys' shows every day. A2D. There is a show. Check it out. If you're missing out if you're not a part of A2D, man, because this is a family here. We want you guys to be a part of it. That's why we take your questions in and all that good stuff. So you can do us a favor. Go ahead and check out Specialized Physical Therapy, LLC, specializedphysicaltherapy.com, and the Princeton, Cherry Hill, and Burlington locations. Dr. Paul Vidal, he's our doctor. Make him yours. Specialized Physical Therapy, guys. Use it up. And also, we have Ambuck Services, our gutter guys. Ambuck, A-M-B-U-C-K, services.com. Check them out. And Philly Drinkers, they are our merchandise guys. All of our A2D merchandise and other great things you can find at phillydrinkers.com. Thank you guys for spending this Friday night with us. Thank you, gentlemen, for tuning in. Thank you, fans. And we will see you guys next Friday. As always, the Bears!